Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. I hope the audio is coming fine. So, as you all know, my StreamYard subscription is over. I'm not renewing it as of now. So my own logo won't be there, and it won't be in HD, and no intro music, outro music. Even though tomorrow morning, so when it turns 12, it will be Rabindranath Thakur's birthday, and my intro music and outro music is originally by Rabindranath. So it would be fun to play that song. Well, I guess apparently not. And apparently it's Maharana Pratap's birthday as well. Wow. Anand is here. We'll have him as soon as I speak my mind on some things. Let's see who are here. Buddhadev is saying, how's the mood back home? I'm in UAE. I don't know what people are feeling. Yeah, Buddhadev, that's the main theme of today's live stream is that. Wait, Nina is here. Jashram. Isn't it a male lion? Yes. The characteristics are masculine. This was the day a new India was born, one which would grow up to show the world her power. I love the new Ashok Stambha. It isn't like the previous Hello Kitty Stambha. This one bites back. Yes, that was the entire point of the new Ashok Stambha. And it's not Ashok Stambha really, it's Mauryan Stambha. And also, so back then people weren't that great at sculpture and had really bad tools. Therefore, they ended up making it look like a smiley Hello Kitty. They obviously wanted to make it ferocious. Otherwise, why else would they choose a lion for the first in the first place? Okay, the entire point is that lion is a ferocious, kingly animal. Therefore, so obviously Modi did an upgrade on that, and that was very correct. So today, first we are going to discuss this with our members who are joining the live stream, and we are going to keep up with all the updates. You all can keep updating us as well. Karachi is up in flames, apparently, our guest is saying. And I heard that Karachi port is also screwed. Lahore also got screwed. It's an insane news cycle. But mainly, is Milton Patel around? But mainly the thing is, first of all, I'm stammering a lot because I'm fasting, and I am really testing myself how much I can fast. This will be my longest fast, as just an inspiration for all the tough times that all our soldiers today are facing. Therefore, I'm fasting extra today. I decided to do. Usually, I do 24-hour fasts every day. Today, I thought let's see if I can push this harder. So the last time I had any food was last night at 9:30 or 10. So I am at 25 hours of fasting. Nice. So yes, my main point, which I can't even get to because of so much insane news coming in, is that apparently most of the country is in fact united. Because first of all, you all know that I think a majority of commies today in India, even including Bengali commies, including Brahman Boidya Kayastha commies, a lot of them, a majority of them have really given up on defending Pakistan at all. Because now they know the main defense they need to put up is of Islam or Muslims. So on Pakistan, they can't defend anymore. Not all Pakistanis are bad and stuff. That stuff is being said by an absolutely fraction of a negligible minority of Bengali commies and commies in general in India. But most of them are saying, fuck this shit, fuck Pakistan as hard as you can, Modi ji. Just before coming live, I saw Birsa Dasgupta, another very, very far left commie Bengali film director, has also said that he has just posted about an hour back that if even now you can't stand by your country, then when, etc. And it was being shared by our recent commie guest who came on the Bengali live stream, okay, but to just debate me. So he shared this and said that, yes, if not now, then are you even Indian? So this is the stuff going on in the minds of commies, and that tells you that entire India is united, and these things matter, algorithm wise, social media wise. और हर बात पे तो हम लोग बोलते रहते हैं कि 140 करोड़ भारतीय ये चाहते हैं, ये बोलते हैं, and it's not never really 140 करोड़ भारतीय wanting or asking for one single thing, right? Today it seems that number is closing around 140 crores. Most people are absolutely. Arundhati Roy is telling Modi to step down. Is this true, or are you joking, Arindam? Let me check. Has Arundhati Roy really said this? It might be time for her to step down off her commode where she's taking her crazy pills. Let's see. No, no, no. She has not said this. Then I take back my words. Rishabh is saying, I heard a Bengali Muslim say this in my office yesterday. Pakistan should be glad Yogi is in the. Okay. Let's have Anand. Let's have all of them here. Let's see who has what to say. Hello, guys. It's essentially a celebration live stream. Celebration of not. I guess more will. Objectivity does not exist, which we just realized in the last live stream. So it's all about pick a side. And since we don't have objectivity, since all we need to do is prevent further disruptions in Indian society from Pakistan and Pakistan-bred terrorists. So our greatest respect to these people who are the civilians, Indian civilians who are the collateral damages, and they are in a way martyrs as well. So who wants to join first? What's up? Anand, Navovimarsh, Tenohe Kabanzai, even Onit is here. Let's have all of them, and I'll keep checking the news. Okay. So yeah, who wants to go ahead first?
I'm okay with anyone. My throat is a little rough, so 6.
Okay. Yeah. Anand, your volume needs to be a little higher. Can you do something? Can you sit closer or something?
No, my voice is gone, so I.
Oh, I see. Okay. By the way, Retrowave is saying that, do you think Pakistan will be disintegrated into 4 parts? Gilgit, Balochistan, Sindh, East Punjab. I think by the end of this, yes. I think POJK will come back to us. There will be one Pakistan country, which will be just the state of Pakistan, and Balochistan will be a separate country. Sindh will be a separate country. 4 Paki jets down.
No, POJK take at least another half a year or a year to come back.
I think this is going to be a long drawn out war, but Pakistan, unless some other country helps them, who are they going to ask funds from? They have petrol for about 3 days of war.
Not like that. Problem is
Karachi port has been bombed now. As we speak, jets are
That's
taking
confirmed.
off from INS. Yeah, INS Vikrant has launched sorties against Karachi port. Like, we have got MiG-29Ks and we are targeting the port facilities using cruise missiles, right? Pretty much.
Any video confirmation of this?
No, we don't have videos of Karachi, but there are some videos coming from. There are pictures of Bahawalpur High Command and Rawalpindi headquarters. They have been targeted by missile strikes.
No, but let me come to the point about saying why POK won't come back so quickly. Because you have to understand, one entire strike group of Pakistani fighters is in Skardu. And the Chinese also have set up at Skardu. Fighting the Pakistanis is one thing. Fighting the Chinese is a different thing. Because they can literally trip people in there. So we will make small pushes in from Leh forward, from Kargil. We push forward a little bit, but it'll take some time to literally get rid of all of those people. But what will happen is, most likely, the Punjabi part of Pakistan will get hit by the TTP. Yeah. And then the first people who hit will be TTP. My opinion.
Skardu can't be taken that very easily because it's very difficult to land at Skardu. It's at very high altitude, and we don't even have that much airdrop capability. We might land up a few troops, but it's comparatively easier for the Pakistanis to defend. And it's surrounded by high peaks. Also, if we take Gilgit-Baltistan, we will cut off the Karakoram highway. So it is a part of the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, which runs from Kashgar. It is in Xinjiang, northwestern China, and it connects Gwadar port to northwestern China. It's a vital artery. China uses that Karakoram highway to basically bypass the Straits of Malacca. Like, they have invested billions in that project. So if we take back Gilgit-Baltistan right now, it would be disastrous for the Chinese. So I believe the Chinese have some assets in Gilgit-Baltistan to protect that highway.
See, I have a different perspective. We don't need to take Gilgit-Baltistan. I'll tell you why. Right? For the Chinese to even make the investment in Gilgit-Baltistan worthwhile, they need Gwadar. See, without their exit in doing by the port, there's no point like holding that land, right? The whole point of holding that thing is to create the pass, create that the passageway, right? The thing is, all we need to do is control, basically kick out. Like you said, if Karachi has been really hit, right? We take Karachi, let the Pakistanis go and hide in Gwadar for a bit. Then we go take Gwadar, and then basically the Chinese are like not interested anymore. They will deal with the Afghans or deal with us. So it's over. Pakistan is over. You don't need to do anything else. The sea, guys, sea is always the gift that
One
gives.
breaking. Okay, hold on. One breaking news. Anjana Om Kashyap is reporting some sensitive news. So something is really going not well. I think she is reporting some sensitive news live, which was against the law. What?
From
I don't
which
know what.
channel is she?
I don't.
Anjana Om Kashyap. I think I don't watch a TV channel.
Aaj tak,
Some
aaj
channel.
tak,
I
aaj tak.
see.
I don't watch, but we are seeing that she's reporting live lot of live
Now,
footage.
are you saying she's being censured because she reported critical stuff?
Not she she should be this should be censored by law because you cannot report live attack going on live TV. That's against law. Government has already given order on this.
It's possible.
Wow.
8,000
Now,
handles have
Pakistan
been
is
banned.
currently attacking Jodhpur. What they're trying to do is basically they're testing out all these border, close to the border areas. They are choosing a target and they're saturating it with drones, like 10, 15 drones, and they are also sending their aircraft out on patrol. Combat air patrol means they're circling over Pakistan. They're not crossing the international border, but they're just sending drones and missiles at us. What they're trying to do is that they're trying to deplete our magazines. Let's say we have 100 missiles, they will send 150 drones at us, so we run out of missiles. We need to be very careful about how we shoot them down, what we use to shoot them down. If we use all our high performance missiles, highly capable missiles to shoot down the simple cheap drones, we might be sitting idle when we are getting struck by the jets.
I
So
think, I
that's a
think,
very big problem.
no, I think our integrated air defense system will pick the right targets. Like the S-400
Yeah.
will hit deep in Pakistan. The Akash and all the guns will hit locally. So I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is typical war strategy. If you play a lot of war games, you'll realize the
Yeah.
enemy always tests your front line. They test your front line. They look for the weakest point to penetrate and send a flank in, so they can go behind you and start hitting you. That's what they're doing right now. They're basically looking for entry into
Right.
the
Okay. Anand,
war.
Anand's
The
internet
Russians
is
have
screwed.
also used this. Russians have also used this tactic in Ukraine. Means they send hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of waves of drones to eat out the missile batteries. So when the missile battery is exhausted, they send in the real missiles and airstrikes, and then the real damage is caused. So I guess Pakistan is trying out this tactic. I have heard from other sources that Indian air defenses have some kind of AI which helps to pre-calculate the trajectory of the incoming threats. Like may it be a drone or missile. It can detect which drone is striking a barren land, like barren area, low threat priorities, and accordingly analyzes the threat posed by them, and it only shoots down those projectiles which are coming towards high value targets. So effectively we have some kind of smart choice making involved when shooting down the incoming drones or missiles.
Okay.
Another thing,
I'll just
INS,
I'll just
just a
respond
second.
to.
Your comment here. The INS Vikrant can't launch a BrahMos. Uh, it has accompanying
Okay.
ships like a destroyer or a frigate, which forms part of its carrier battle group. Now, those carrier battle group ships do three things actually. Number one, it helps to protect from submarines, that is anti-submarine warfare. It helps to protect from aerial threats, that is anti-air warfare. And thirdly, they also carry a magazine of 8 BrahMos missiles, which they can hit land or surface targets. I believe that it has either come from one of those accompanying destroyers or frigates, or it might be an air-launched BrahMos
Okay.
from a Su-30. Sure.
I see. Yeah. So two things I wanted to respond to from the comment section is that one, Rishabh was saying that okay, Abhishek Mittal is going on saying that actually Vikrant can launch BrahMos. I don't know about that. So anyway, Rishabh was saying
one
that why do we need POJK? Why do we need Gilgit Baltistan? So we need that because we want that, because it was ours, and it doesn't matter what the mindset of the people are right now. Okay, they can be radicals, they can be treated like radicals. The land belongs to us. We need it back. Whatever its resources, tourism, water, buffer zone, security, for everything we need more and more land. And we know that the population there is almost entirely radicalized, so we don't have to treat them as normal Indian citizens. We have to suspend civil liberties there. They can only go to school and have a job, open a shop and stuff. No other rights and fundamental rights, etc., duties, वो सब कुछ नहीं होगा उनके लिए. They, it maybe for 2-3 generations at least, and after that they can have their rights and stuff, and they can become Indian citizens. We can have a glorious celebration after 50 years and stuff. Only then and only then can they have full citizenship. Not before that. Before that, they will be treated like male ghanimat. And who was? Yeah, I wanted to respond to something else. Wait, yeah. Buddhadev is asking the eternal question: what if they nuke? Well, there's no answers to infinite what ifs. But if they are
Well, Ajit
crazy
Doval
enough,
said we
wait,
nuked them
Anand
back.
disappeared
We
and then
nuked
is
them
saying
back.
no from there.
Yeah, Ajit
We will
Doval
nuke them
said
back, but the
we
only
nuked them
concern is
back.
that they might not. They are a death cult. They are a death cult. They might not care that their country is also going to get destroyed completely. That's one problem. Where is Anand?
I
Why is
think they
Anand shouting from outside?
So
Okay,
sorry.
no. I
No,
think
wait, wait. Let's war game this. Let's war game this. Very important. Okay. First thing, there's no chance that the Americans will even let the warhead be moved out of the silo towards the missile. The minute they start opening their silo, the Americans will bomb the shit out of that place. There's no
No,
chance an
and
American
also
will
we
take one.
have. Pavneet Singh was saying that we have a clause in our own policy that if we get a whiff that they are even planning to nuke us, we can nuke them first, and any amount of nukes we can hit at them.
No, but my point is the tech that we have, that the Americans have, is 1,000 times more superior than what we are currently using against the Pakistanis themselves. Even if they can, they have a lot of spies in Pakistan. You understand? A lot of the military themselves are aligned with the Americans. It's just the two groups. There's one American aligned group, and there's the Mullah aligned group, the Islamist aligned group. The minute they get a whiff that the Mullah aligned group is going to load a missile, they will tell the Americans, and Americans will basically land on their head. So we don't have to worry about nukes. This nuclear bogey is used by the Americans to keep the status quo. That's all.
okay. One more thing.
Okay,
One
Boeing
thing
is
people
asking
are
an
asking.
interesting question that अरे हम तो मर जाएंगे. They will definitely nuke Delhi NCR. तो
Okay,
अब
okay.
न्यूक के डर के मारे अगर हम चुप बैठे रहे और 26 और लोग मारे जाए NCR से ही, तो how many 26 people every year can we afford from Delhi and NCR only? It will be the equivalent of many nuclear strikes anyway. Yeah, now go ahead, Bhupendra. I am going on
Yeah,
interrupting you.
yeah. So this is a very misconception about Pakistani society as a whole. There is a death cult which is there, but you have to remember that the elite, the Pakistani military, has a lot to lose. That we discount it. We are discounting the military who hold all the power. They have all the prosperity. So they will not do that because they will lose a lot. There's a lot for them to lose actually. So that will not happen. Even for an irrational actor like Pakistan army, they will not do that because they have built 30, 40 years houses, everything in America and all they have built. They're not going to do that. So there's a nuance to that argument. Yeah, there is a one section which will they use it to actually as a death cult, but it will not come down to that. They will be using it. They will use as a kind of blackmail tactic, but not to use it because they know if they use the nuke, then they lose the blackmail tactic tool that they have. It's a very different game. It's a blackmail tool,
Yeah,
not to
because
be.
forever their main game has been blackmail only. They are holding a gun to their own heads that see if we fall then nukes चले जाएंगे उनके हाथ. सो जा नहीं तो nukes चले जाएंगे उनके हाथ. Nukes चले जाएंगे उनके हाथ. Nukes चले जाएंगे उनके हाथ. यही तो बोलते आ रहे हैं इतने सालों से.
If
Now,
they
one
use
more
it,
thing.
then they lose everything.
The government,
Yeah,
the
go ahead,
MOD
Anand.
has already confirmed free hand to army now, proper free hand. They are basically let the army
Hmm.
start planning counter strategies. No, lot of cities are burning right now. Apparently,
Hmm.
Islamabad, Sialkot, Karachi, like explosions are in Karachi, including Lahore. Every lot of cities are burning right now in Pakistan. So
Okay,
this is one.
Saudi Arabia has told and actually scolded Pakistan for escalating.
See, they already have thousands of things to manage in their area. Okay, they don't need one more big problem to happen in the Indian subcontinent. Next to all their investments in Kashmir, like you have to understand, they're not. You have to understand one thing about Arabs. They're not stupid. Okay, they're not
Yes.
stupid. Not
Yeah.
like these morons in Pakistan. Like,
Yeah, Pakistan
Arabs
is truly
understand.
stupid,
Yeah,
dangerously stupid. That's one huge problem.
it's like seriously. No,
Yeah,
but
Anit, go ahead. Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Sorry. Finish your point, Anand.
My point is that if Saudi Arabia is saying this, it doesn't make a difference because now the escalation is already to a point where it can't be taken back unless it's a coup.
This might
And
make a difference.
sorry,
This might make a difference. Saudi foreign minister is coming to Islamabad
Yes.
apparently.
no, what can
One
he
second.
do? See, you have to
Maybe
understand one
we
thing.
won't bomb Pakistan further so that his safety is not
No,
threatened
no,
in that sense.
let me explain to you why. Even if he comes, it doesn't make a difference. I'll tell you why it doesn't make a difference. Because Pakistan's society is so radicalized and it is not a monarchy. It is a pseudo democracy. It is so radicalized. If they don't take action against perceived attacks on them, terrorists will take over. Like they will literally take over the country. They will kill all the military and take over the country. They're so radicalized to that level. My point is that. So at
Yeah.
some point, you have to keep the thing going until someone comes and invades them proper. And it'll be TDP,
Hmm.
it'll be the radicals from the other parts, or it'll be the other army part. I don't know who's going to be end up, but I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your name? Tenoheka Banzai?
Yes.
क्या नाम रखा है
Yes.
भोसड़ी के?
We
And how
remember
do you keep following me on Twitter after
Ziaul Haq.
every few days? Every few days I see Tenoheka Banzai is following me. Do you unfollow me
Uh,
50 times a week or do you have 50 profiles?
no. I have only one profile. Yeah, where was I? Ziaul Haq, right? Ziaul Haq
Go ahead.
was an absolute military
Hmm.
dictator. Like, there were factions in the army who were not
Hmm.
very happy with his reign. Even parts of the US administration were not happy. Like, he was uh, getting nuclear warheads and etc. from China. Under him, Pak was accelerating their nuclear program. So USA was also not very happy, and he was killed off in an aircraft crash near Bahawalpur. Like, yeah, very significantly.
Hmm.
Like, coincidentally, Bahawalpur. There was a
Right.
C-130J where in which he was flying, and some people say that there was a chemical attack which was released in the cockpit, or it was some bomb in a crate of mangoes or something very exotic stuff, and he was assassinated that way. Now there are certain factions of the Pak army today, as Anand sir said. Uh, there are factions which are close to the Americans. They
I
want
don't
to
call
get
me
rid of
sir.
Asim Munir because,
Don't call me sir, man.
yeah, so they want to get rid of Asim Munir because he's seen too much as a hardline. So all's not well within the army. There are many factions which go against Asim Munir.
No, but the question is, why would they take over from
So
Asim? Why?
yeah,
Why would they?
will
Why would they
just to
put them
run
in
the
a chopping block? Like dangerous. Because they have to manage, if they're not hardliners, they have to manage the Islamists that Asim Mundi has basically given so much credence to, right? And if you remember when this attack happened, all the Pakistani military were basically standing with that guy doing the janaza of the dead terrorist. Like, how are you going to keep those people in control if you're like, oh, I'm a moderate, I'm okay with the attacks on
Hmm.
your terrorist camp. Nahi hoga bhai, they're screwed either way. They're like the devil ditch here, then the deep blue sea ditched over there. Just choose which one you want. That's all. Either they get blasted by us or they
The
get
main
blasted. I'm telling you what will happen. The generals who are pro US will sneak out of the country with all their money. The rest will all just die in hell of gunfire. So
Hmm. And on the other hand,
Once
people
the
are
war's over,
bursting
they might fly
firecrackers
back.
near
They
my
might fly
house for
back
the
and
last
become
1
the
hour.
new rulers.
And So people are bursting firecrackers near my house for the last 1 hour, and every time I've been thinking, why the fuck are they attacking? Pakistan is bombing my place now. So, and every time I'm finding out that people are celebrating our destruction of Pakistan with firecrackers. क्या genius भोसरी वाले हैं हमारे देश में. And Rudvik is saying this is my favorite super chat. Yes, Rudvik, congratulations to you too, and thank you for donating 40 rupees, contributing 40 rupees to Bengal's GDP. Retro is saying IPL. Oh, IPL भी चल रहा है. IPL में कौन जीता कौन हारा खिड़की में से देखो जरा. Was Bengal playing today? AK Bromo is saying the constant clash in the Islamic world between theocratic Islamists and royalist Islamists. Saudi is going to take advantage of this situation. The theocratic mullahs will be replaced by royalist mullahs. I see. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Now go ahead, Tenoke Banzai. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was replying to Anand Sidhar. Like he said that
Okay.
the people who are in cahoots with the US, they will flee to the Gulf, or they might flee to Saudi Arabia, UAE, or America, wherever. But once Asim Muni's regime and his loyalists get removed from power, they are just going to swoop back and fill in the vacuum. They are going to the new Tana Shahs of Pakistan. It will be simply a new regime in place.
My question remains: how will they manage the terrorist infrastructure that's already there? Most of their people are radicalized. See, the elites may not be the way we think they are. Like, may not be radicalized the way the ground level person is. But at some point, they have to control them. You cannot control people by saying, "I'm an army general." You need that authority, like personal authority, right? I don't think so. They have it. Personal opinion. Second thing is, I want to mention this is more dangerous for Bengal, I think, because a lot of these radicals were released in Bangladesh, right? They may try terrorist attacks on the in Bengal. They may try terrorist attacks in Assam, right, along the border. So you guys need to be vigilant for next, I think, 1 month. My opinion.
You are saying because the army is stretched too thin.
No, because the regime in Pakistan will fall. Then here terrorist attack will start because they have to let out
definitely
the
want to.
So that's my point.
Yeah, I want to make one point.
One more.
Regarding the Anand Sridhar's remark that there may be some terrorist attacks from Bangladesh. Yeah, it is inevitable that from last 2 days there has been much movement by the Indian army around the chicken neck portion, and there has also been some like their meetings with Mamata Banerjee or Assam's CM with the Home Minister. I think today or yesterday.
Yeah, one more thing. I heard Colonel Ajay Raina saying there might be something news coming from also Bangladesh very soon.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But वहाँ पे unprovoked attack करके क्या करेगा?
I don't know. He just gave a hint, so I think he has some credible intel. So when he
No.
says something is
No, but you understand how terrorists don't work for any. See, all of this is money, basically for money, to get more funding for more terrorist attacks. So it's a proof of concept, right? If you want to get more funding, then you got to keep doing activities. So you do the activity not for a goal, but to prove to your benefactor that I am doing terrorist activities. So keep funding them. It's like these are like what do you call it? Terrorist startups. They got to keep doing it. See, that's why even now, even though you go hit Hafiz Saeed's compound in Pakistan, if you don't take out the root from and stem, don't remove it out, they'll come up again because they'll keep trying to do more proof of evidence or
Yeah.
consistency.
So
I want to add something.
right now we have updates that Quetta is being hit as well. Multiple hits on Quetta. And someone said कि पीओके में आर्मी घुस गई है, वो अभी तक तो यहाँ पे दिख नहीं रहा है, देखते हैं. Go ahead, Tenoka Banzai.
Yeah, I wanted to add that why does North Korea exist? North Korea is basically a buffer state between China and the American troops which are stationed in South Korea. Like in 1951 or 1952, when the Korean Wars had turned its tide, like the Americans crossed the 38 parallel and they were marching north they had captured Pyongyang and they were marching towards the Chinese border. It was then Mao who intervened and he sent lakhs and lakhs of Chinese troops, PLA soldiers basically, and they overwhelmed the Americans and recaptured Pyongyang and established the DMZ, or the demilitarized zone that we see today. China never wants stability in South Asia. They always want to keep India on its hooks. They always want us unstable. So it can focus on Taiwan, it can focus on the Japanese islands, it can focus on the South China Sea. They do not want a stable and peaceful India. Otherwise, we might turn our full attention towards Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin. So China, it was China who supplied the warhead designs and the missile technology to Pakistan. The Pakistani nukes and missiles are not indigenous. It's stolen technology. It's copied technology from the Chinese. So Pakistan is basically China's thug in South Asia.
Yeah, and holy shit, well, it's not Indian army who's attacking Quetta. It's Baloch fighters who are attacking
Yeah,
Quetta.
it's BLA, Baloch Liberation Army.
Yeah,
Like, they're
I
basically
What
proxy
the
group.
fuck?
see. I was wrong. I
Yeah.
thought the TTP would be the first to start. I didn't know the Baloch would
No,
start. So,
TTP is in KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. They are in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Pashtun-dominated regions.
No, I understand. Just
Brothers,
saying. I
brothers,
thought
see
the first.
Ajit Bharti's tweet. See Ajit Bharti's tweet. I think Lahore is getting
Okay.
bombed for everywhere now.
भाई चारों ओर से घिर के पीटा इन लोगों को. Fuck.
No, you'd understand that the state of Pakistan is held in place because of the threat of violence by the Pakistani army. The minute you break, like I said, no, with terrorists,
Right.
they need to prove their importance. Now we have broken
Yeah.
the infallibility or the strength of the Pakistani army for the world to see. Now they have got confidence to fight. But I'm surprised the Balochis were the first to do it. I thought the TTP will do it from North Pakistan, push towards Lahore and Karachi and stuff. Lahore basically and Rawalpindi. I thought that's what would happen. I guess it's beautiful, right? Because the Balochis require that freedom. The irony is Kashmir is legally ours, Baloch is illegally Pakistan's. That's the irony. They illegally took Balochistan, which is not. The Balochis never even signed their country over, like their state over to Pakistan.
Anand,
Arfa Khanum has tweeted that peace is terrorism, war is destruction. Oh, peace is patriotism, war is destruction. Borders don't bleed, people do. Stop the war. De-escalate now in capital letters, because if she writes in capital letters, Modi is going to take it extra seriously. So she has reminded us that don't de-escalate. Don't de-escalate 5 minutes later. Don't de-escalate tomorrow. De-escalate now.
अरे पैसा ड्राई अप हो जाएगा भाई. पैसा वहां से आ रहा है, पाकिस्तान से आ रहा है सबका. I'm telling you, when Pakistan disintegrates, the Islamism in the subcontinent also will start slowing down. All this money, the leftists, सब पैसा वहां से आ रहा है, चाइना से और वहां से. Everyone is paid by these two countries.
Yes, and that is why I was really happy that today there was a huge operation against हमारे Maowadis even. Do you all know about it? Because there has been so much going on, people kind of forgot about it. There has been a huge operation launched against Naxals today, and they will be probably finished off from the face of India within 2-3 days. So, which is hilarious because they are also.
No, I have a disagreement. For me, the
ideology won't go away, but the Maoist soldiers will be gone.
That's my point. Those people are poor people who have been confused by these bloody urban Naxals. I don't blame those guys. Those poor people in the villages and the places who have been confused. It's not their fault. It is these bloody people sitting in the urban areas, urban Naxals, who have completely told them you have to die for me, for my ideas. They're not going. Have you seen this bloody N. Ram going and fighting in the forest? That fatso. वो नहीं करेगा. ये न्यूज लॉन्ड्री के मूर्ख लोग जाके लड़ेंगे फॉरेस्ट में. उनको जाके बोलेंगे.
There's a question for Navavimarsh. Is there going to be Atank Akraman in West Bengal? Is it an unavoidable sacrifice that we need to do?
I think I want to quote Saurav Banerjee's that comment. Everything is propaganda. If any
wait, Anit, let Navavimarsh answer this. So AK Brahma's comment was getting repeatedly deleted. That's why he had to write Atank Akraman. Maybe he means something else. I wonder what he
Okay, okay.
means.
Okay, yeah, okay, well,
Atank
in
Akraman,
okay,
fear
no, no,
attack.
no. Okay, so I got your question. Okay, let me answer it.
Okay.
See, Nyajanda has said multiple times, correct? For the third generation to be prosperous, the first two generations have to sacrifice, correct? So for last 100 years, every generation has not done the sacrifice, especially in West Bengal and Bengali in general. They wanted to enjoy their lives. That's why we are here today, uh,
Hmm.
being what we are. This concept of sacrifice is something which is an eternal truth, which will always remain. Think about South Korea. Remember South Korea. South Korean people used to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week before they became what they are today. You see today South Korea as the prosperous economy. You forget for 30 years they were doing this work, 12 hours work shift, 6 days in a week. Only then they have become like this. Until that
Hmm.
mindset into people that you have do sacrifice, whatever sacrifice. It doesn't mean that you go and die on a border. That sacrifice has to be there. It has to be beautiful in nature. Okay, first understand sacrifice is not about feeling bad. Okay, so that concept has to be there, and for that you need a little bit of devotion. Okay, so I was in Bengaluru and I saw one girl on just when she is going to her home from office. She was standing in front of temple and the Jew is doing namaste and asking God for help. Okay, that is something which is missing. That is human psychology. Okay, you have something beyond your beyond your exclusive domain. Pray to God and do whatever is required. Sacrifice doesn't have to be told sacrifice. It's something that you have to do as a your work. Okay, okay, I have to do this. Okay, have one less pizza, have one less holiday, and do something small in your own way of doing sacrifice. It can be time, it can be money, it can be anything. Until
Hmm.
that is not ingrained in our psychology, we will be asking the same question again in 50 years.
Yeah. Now, Baloch Liberation Army have themselves confirmed that we have done 6 attacks. Lol.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tenoy ka
I
Banzai,
just
go ahead.
wanted to add something to Nava Vimers's comment. He said that
Hmm.
South Koreans walk 12 hours a day, and I have to add something very interesting. Seoul
30 years.
is from Seoul is just from sh- is at a shelling distance from the DMZ. If North Korea wants, it can basically decimate the city of Seoul in just 30 minutes to 40 minutes or so. All their artillery and all their rocket launches are pointed at Seoul. Uh, and Seoul hosts more than 60% of South Korea's total population, as you can believe. So they know that they are living under such a threat. And most of South Korea's male population has undergone mandatory conscription. All of them are trained. They are trained soldiers. So they are reservists, just like the IDF in Israel. They can be called up at a moment's notice and can be ready to fight the war.
Hmm. Now,
Okay,
someone made an interesting point here that let's talk about the captured pilot a little. What do you think is going to happen to him?
I
I
have
think
just made
I think he will
I
be
have just
captured.
made a post that we should send the Darjeeling 2 in 10-minute delivery to them for tea,
I think
Darjeeling tea.
I think two
Oh,
will be
acha.
captured. One in Jammu sector and one in
Yeah,
Rajasthan.
yeah.
No, no, but the bigger thing, forget the pilot. The bigger thing is in India, the S-400 has shot down an F-16.
Two unconfirmed reports. Two.
No, no, but my point is that it's confirmed. S-400 is shot down F-16. That's confirmed already. The Ministry of
Hmm.
Defense already confirmed this. But you'd understand, this is a framing of a conflict. S-400 is a Russian weapon. F-16 is an American weapon. These messages go out to the world, okay, and you see these things happening. Same thing like yesterday, when an Indian drone basically destroyed a Chinese anti-aircraft system. It sent a message to the world. Like the Americans are watching that. They're like, oh, Chinese anti-aircraft stuff has a weakness. we was exploited, right? So that's why the Pakistani is pushing the Rafale thing so much. You understand why they're pushing the Rafale? Not because the Rafale actually fell, but because they want to push this idea that a Rafale is weak and the F-16 is powerful. So they can get more
Yeah.
cushy deals with the, because you understand right now the Americans and French are in a fight with each other to sell high quality jets to the world. The Americans want to sell their architectures. The French want to sell their architectures, and they're competing right now. So it's a corporate espionage technically. All this stuff. Shit.
Yeah, go ahead, Tanuka Banzai.
Yeah, the F-16s that Pakistan uses are not of the latest technology. America has not provided them the latest upgrades because the alliance with the Pakistanis have degraded over the last decade. So they are not the latest F-16s as one might observe. They are not the latest. They are Block 52 plus variants.
No,
The
you're missing
latest
the
are
point.
Block 7.
You're missing the point. To a layman around the world, it does not matter. It is the visual. It's the imagery of a Russian anti-aircraft thing taking out an American aircraft. Oh, sorry, what happened?
No, you're here.
So,
Yeah.
that's all it matters to the layman. And
Yeah,
then
but it's the same
ultimately,
is going on in Ukraine, right? But it doesn't matter Russia versus America right now. What matters is our S-400 system, which we have procured, is perfect for our needs. It means
that
that
is
we
fine.
have made a good investment, and the S-400 is actually getting proved in this case. In Ukraine, we were not able to prove the S-400 was not able to prove its metal because Ukrainian Air Force doesn't have substantial number of strike aircraft. They don't have F-16s in large number, which can go deep inside Russian territory and attack. So now the S-400 is showing its true colors, and I believe that S-400 sales will increase. Also, Akash system, which India indigenously manufactures, they have been very successful in intercepting several drones. So I believe Bharat Dynamics are going to get a lot of orders in the future for the Akash system.
No, I agree. Actually, ironically, this war is the best example of libertarianism being the right
Yes.
structure for the country. Because of the libertarian attitude of allowing indigenous in manufacture and letting them practice and try different things, we have been able to defeat the Pakistanis so well in our sectors. And we should be pushing that. The joke, that picture of Rahul Gandhi sitting with that Chinese drone and saying, "Oh, Indians don't make great drones." Today, oh
Yeah.
my God, there people are going to make fun of him all like for next year, I think, about these drones. Like literally.
Okay, I have two questions from the audience members, and if you all can answer me. First is, so we have shot down two Pakistani drones as well as two Pakistani jets.
We
No, we
have
have
shot
shot
down
down
two
four,
F-16s. That
four,
is guaranteed.
four.
We have shot down two JF-17s. Now the F-16s are the American ones, which we have talked about so far. What the JF-17 is a cheap Chinese aircraft. Nobody buys JF-17s. Only some tin pot dictatorships in Africa, Myanmar,
Okay,
and very poor countries just buy these JF-17s. It's perfect
I
for
see.
Bhikaristan, that is Pakistan. It's a very cheap aircraft, dirt cheap, and it's very incapable of aircraft. It can't carry multiple missiles. It can't carry heavy loads and it cannot also dogfight pretty well. It has a
Acha.
weak engine and it has very low service life as well. So it's a cheap Jugaru kind of aircraft. We have brought down two of them. We have brought down two F-16s and we have brought down one or two AWACS. Now, what these are? These are basically eyes in the sky. So an AWACS is an aircraft which flies at a very high altitude and it has a very powerful radar which can see far into India. Suppose the AWACS is flying over Pakistan close to the border, it can peek into Indian airspace. So it can basically see how our aircraft are patrolling, Indian Air Force jets are patrolling. So they can basically see where the attacks might come from. So if we take their eyes out, we are basically blinding the Pakistanis. We do not know what's coming for them. So these are some
I
of the
correct.
important aspects that have been taken down.
I think they have down one AWACS
Yes,
from
down
Pakistan.
one AWACS.
They
Yeah,
have
yeah.
yeah, one AWACS is down. One AWACS.
And my second question is that what Indian stuff are we using? Because I know we are using a lot of Russian, Israeli, and American stuff. What are Indian here
Yeah.
in the equipment sector?
The
Indians are the
Kamikaze
missiles,
drones.
Akash NG and Akash NG, and we have
So
some copies of Israeli drones. Like Adani makes
Acha.
them. Adani makes the
Okay.
Harop and Harpy drones, and they are
No,
made in India.
use Akshay Tir. Akshay Tir is used. Akshay Tir. Akshay Tir is used. It's a like anti-drone system.
Okay.
Ground air. Akshay Tir is used. It's a very new one developed by India itself.
I see. Aman Singh is saying there are reports of Munir being detained. How likely is that to be true? I don't think at all. I don't think Munir is dumb enough to live in Pakistan at this point. I don't think he is remotely anywhere near Pakistan. Which is why
No, no,
I do fear
he's
the
in
nuclear
Pakistan.
option a little, because these are dumb fucks who are going to escape and then hit the nuclear button on themselves even.
No, he's definitely in Pakistan. I don't think so. No, he's in Pakistan.
Why? Why would he be in Pakistan?
Because the people won't follow a general who's not where they are. It's not possible.
But hasn't he realized that the game is over? Does he
He's
still
not-
have hopes?
He's not a rational actor. He's an emotional actor. You have to understand. Rational actors are different from it. Emotional actors they may be good commanders for a while, but they will take emotional decisions. They will not run off.
So if Congress comes to power in 50 years, we will read in our history books that how heroically Asim Munir died fighting along
Yeah.
with his comrades side by side.
I want to know. I want him see. I want him to be in some hole somewhere. Indian Army finds him. We take him out and we behead him on live TV. That's what I want.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I hope we don't get demonetized.
Samay Raina,
नहीं पहले उसका पैंट उतारना है फिर भी हिट करना है.
I don't care.
Samay
about the
Raina.
मुझे नहीं देखना.
Samay, we don't want to see Asim Munir naked. None of us want to see Asim Munir's balls. Samay Raina added in the Instagram story, my prayers with everyone in Jammu, believe in Indian Army. This has been updated by Anit. Now, who among our members group was saying that they want to respond to some Banerjee here who was saying that actually nothing is happening, it's all propaganda. It's all being lies.
See, I didn't say that,
So
but I
who
can
was-
respond. I didn't
Yeah,
say
go
that.
ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Yeah, Anit, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe he has come out from Garga Chatterjee's ass, or he may be a toilet cleaner
Wow.
of everyday Muhammad Salim. So when I think when in future there will be war in our front too. So make him go in the border and say everything is just propaganda. Everything is propaganda.
He should
Right.
be employed by Indian Army to sing peace songs at the border in
I
Bangladesh
disagree.
border.
I disagree. I think the person is genuine, but they were hiding in the bunker with Asim Munir for so long.
Avinav is asking who Banerjee. Some Banerjee, Saurabh Banerjee or somebody came to our live stream 15 minutes back and said that nothing is actually going on anywhere in India or Pakistan. It's all made up propaganda going on. Okay, that was funny.
And
I
one
want
thing,
to
have you seen the one?
I want that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's discuss the Indian narrative in the world. Is it possible?
Yeah,
Do you-
I just want to mention one thing.
Yeah, because it's
Today-
from tomorrow morning onwards, it's a whole new world. Every narrative has been destroyed, and America's role as the global policeman is also going to be officially demeaned in the eye. Nothing can be done after it's demeaned in the eyes of the people all over the world. They are letting this war
No.
go on.
No, you understand one thing. It's not about policemen. The problem is the world media is still dominated by Westerners. We have not taken the effort. The Indian media has not taken the effort to change that narrative. The only person who has tried is Palki Sharma. And she's the only one who's been reasonably successful. The rest, all of our media is absolutely incompetent to the T. Like I'm talking even English language media. For me, I'm embarrassed by the kind of arguments they make. They're like, oh, why is the Western media reporting this? Like, hello, can't you have a correspondent there asking questions at the White
Yes.
House and saying, what do you have to say about the Indian PM saying this? Like, no one's there. They don't have the balls to invest some money in this. Like, none of them. Take Republic. Arnav said this like I think 10 years ago. He said, oh, the Indian media is so small, you all shut us out. Why is there not one Republic, like well-spoken Republic journalist doing White House press briefing? Not one. Like what about the effort there? There's a pretty Pakistani journalist sitting there and asking questions every time.
And look at their funding structure. So much is being done by Qatar. we don't have really have an equivalent of Al Jazeera even fucking today, after 20-25 years of Al Jazeera existing.
No, that requires you to make the right connections. See, again, like let me ask you another question, right? The when this thing started with this war, right? The only Indian embassy that did had the balls to correct the country that they were in was the bloody Indian embassy in China. Not one. The Indian embassy in the US didn't say
Oh.
anything. The Indian embassy in UK didn't say anything. The Indian embassy in any of the bloody country didn't say anything. The one embassy that had the balls to call out the government was the Indian embassy in China. Can you believe it? They called it Global Times in
Patrick Bet
China.
David is saying that Patrick Bet David has tweeted 2 hours back that soon a propaganda is going to come where people will say that free Pakistan, and they will call the Pakistani terrorists freedom fighters. Within days, you are going to hear people talk about free Pakistan and freedom fighters. This is Patrick Bet David saying. Now, let's
This
take here to learn's question here.
It started yesterday also.
Yeah, go on.
It already started.
Yeah. Why is China not acting against India now? I though personally believe China is the one who has deactivated their air defense systems, but that's just my personal
No.
conspiracy theory.
See, if the Chinese engage with India right now, they have a genuine threat to any economic chance out of their wilderness. Like if they start
And also
fighting,
that will sure shot that will solidify our alliance with USA. We are saying that we don't want to ally with USA, we don't want
forget
to ally
about
with
the
China.
alliance.
If
No, we
China
will not
attacks,
ally with US.
it's India and US. No, if China attacks, we will have to ally with US.
In any system, if you start war with someone, all trade links get shut down immediately. And the
Yes.
biggest market right now China has to at least sort of balance its books is India. So
Absolutely right.
they cannot risk our market. If Pakistan can go to hell, they can't risk our market. They can't. They just can't.
Right. Yeah, Tenoka
I
Banzai.
just had a point. For the last
Yeah.
6 months, Chinese Navy ships and aircraft have been constantly testing Taiwanese defenses. They basically try to pressurize Taiwan into committing a misfire or some kind of wrong action, which they might justify and start a war and try to take over Taiwan. Now, what the Americans are doing, they are basing several of their assets in the Philippines, in the islands near Japan, and so on. They are trying to safeguard Taiwan, and they are shifting their focus from Europe to the Asia Pacific. So we can see the rhetoric coming from the Trump administration that they want to move the focus from Europe to Asia, and they want to uh, disengage from Europe. They do not want to provide support to the NATO alliance any longer, and this has led to a rift in the relationship between uh, USA and several of the smaller European nations who do not have a big defense budget. So we can clearly see that China doesn't want a war with India. They do not want to escalate tensions with India because their main focus now is on Taiwan and the South China Sea region.
I love Ash
Rishabh is
Ketchum's
saying
joke.
that.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
go on.
much. I'm saying I love Ash Ketchum's jokes. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Navavimarsh, you were going to say something?
Yeah. I am saying if the reports are true that Asif Munir is detained, so they have found a scapegoat.
Yeah, seems so. You should play the glorious speech by KK Menon now. Yeah, नहीं पूरा का पूरा copyright खाएंगे हम.
No, we
वो
need
जगह फिर से उड़ा
confirmation.
देना पड़ेगा.
We need confirmation
Yeah.
that Asim Munir is arrested. Let's not accept this because
Yeah.
see this
So I'm saying,
this may be like a method to bring our levels down so they can send more drones. So we need to be careful. That's all.
Yeah, Kushal Mehra is saying, I miss Tarek Fatah today. I wish he were alive and with us. His commentary would have been special. He would have been the happiest guy today in Pakistan. Let's
No,
see.
but he's
Amy
not
Mek is saying,
Pakistani. No, he
yeah,
said
go
I'm
on.
a Hindustani. I'm not a Pakistani.
Yeah. ऋषभ दुख दर्द पीड़ा दे रहा है. आसिफ मुनीर reports are totally rumors, but I've heard. just play audio. Audio में ही copyright खाएंगे हम. Then Anit, you are in the group only. Yeah, you can start speaking. Anit is typing in the private chat. Hello, Anit.
What happened?
Yeah, Anit is here
You
only.
know, but there are so many rumors going, man. They're like BLA's captured, Keta, Imran Khan out of jail. Like, I mean, this is people just creating afwah for everything. Like, let's create stories. Like, let's be calm. Some people just are interested in making on like doing so much gossip.
Oh,
Let's
that's Abhay. That's not Anit. Holy shit! Arey, I have gone blind. Abhay was saying that मुझे ले लो दादा, and I read that as Anit. Yeah. Hi, Abhay. Now he's saying, "Arey dada, me." Yeah, go ahead, Abhay.
नमस्कार सभी को। मैं बस
हाँ.
दिवाली की शुभकामनाएं देने आया था। आज रात भर
Yes.
पटाखे फूटने वाले हैं, तो रात भर
Yeah.
दिवाली मनाई है। सोना वोना नहीं है, कोई नहीं
And office
सोएगा।
Yes.
tomorrow I have a training 10 a.m.
वो
Office, yeah.
वो ऐसे ही बिना सोए जाना। आज सोने पर फास्टिंग।
Okay, can I correct
नहीं,
your thing? This is not Diwali.
Yeah.
This is Dashera. In Dashera, you go kill Ravan.
Yeah.
Diwali is
Yeah.
after everything is finished. You're happy.
Ah.
You come back to Ayodhya. So you will celebrate Diwali when you get
Yeah.
POK. Wait, let me finish. You'll celebrate Diwali when you get that
Yeah.
POK and create Akhand Bharat. That's when you get Diwali.
Yeah.
Right now it is Dashera. You're going to kill Ravan. Thank you so much.
But Bhupendra, tomorrow is
that
Rabindranath
is also a
Thakur's
very nice
birthday.
idea, Anand.
Huh?
Tomorrow is Rabindranath Thakur's birthday. How can you go to office? Shouldn't you stay home and celebrate with some nice soft music and
Oh,
Dupkati?
I have a very important training.
Training
to
is
do
a
lot of-
tool of
दादा ने
capitalism.
बंगालिया
How
में
can you
छोड़
take
दिया।
training? Yes, how can you train yourself to be consumerism's foot soldier and capitalism's foot soldier on a day that Rabindranath Thakur was born, whose entire family was capitalist, by the way?
Arey, I got question. Is there a day for the?
इनका
Is there a day
घर
for?
में वो न्यूरो साइंटिस्ट आएगा कल।
Yeah, go ahead, Anand.
A question: is there a day when Mahishasura Mardini happened? Like when she did kill Mahishasura? Is there a day for that?
I think
Does
Vijay
anybody know?
Dashami is that
सेम डे
day.
एज दशहरा, विजय दशमी, सेम डे एज
Ah,
दशहरा।
Then today is the same day. Okay. Then Vijay Dashami. Today is Vijay Dashami.
Saying Navratri.
Arey, only 3 Ratris has happened. This is what 3 Ratri, not Navratri. 3 Ratri. New celebrity.
Pakistan के लिए तो घोर रात्रि and आखरी रात्रि में भी for Pakistan as we know it.
I
Now,
like
here's
Ash
a good.
Ketchum. Ash Ketchum's Naraka
Yeah.
Chaturdashi.
Yeah. Good question from Avinav here. Tell me, what are going to be the reactions of Bangladeshi jihadis from tomorrow onwards, as well as Arfa Khanam? What do you think is going on in her mind right now? What is she feeling? What are the thoughts? What are the exact sentences and words going on in her mind right now?
Shit, मेरा पैसा चला गया भाई. मेरा बैंक अकाउंट चला गया. Sorry.
Next US trip is cancelled.
No, she might get funding for that even more now because Pakistan के equivalents of Arfa अभी नहीं है, तो original Arfa को ही बार-बार अब डालना पड़ेगा, लाना पड़ेगा.
Let me honest. While if Pakistan money dries up, there are a lot of leftists sitting in America to fund her
Yeah.
trips there. The Democratic
There's enough
Socialists of
Qatar
America-
money in USA.
Forget about Qatar money, mate. It's the leftist log cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs hai. They will crowdsource money for her to come. They will like hamara
By the
paisa
way-
le lo, no problem.
Noam Chomsky lost his ability to speak 3 days back
That's
Wow.
sad.
because he's 95 years old.
I'll miss
Now
enjoying
he
his
will
bullshit.
become Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, he's now Stephen Hawking. Retrowave is saying,
No, I
I'm
just
curious about whether
watched a
there will be
video,
some sort of violence on tomorrow since it's Friday, quote unquote Friday. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Tanoy
just
Kamanzai.
had something.
Yeah.
I just saw a video from Neuralink. It is Elon Musk's Neuralink, the new company, what they are doing is they are basically inserting a chip into the brain of a patient who can't speak, who can't talk. He is simply
Acha.
using his brain actions to select a cursor on the screen, like, and he's using it to type, he's using it to surf the web, he can scroll, he can make emojis. Like, the man is completely speech impaired. He can't also move. He has some sort of special
No, no, no. I was
Who is
like
offline?
the
man has
comment.
some kind of special muscular problem.
Tenoweka.
Some,
Yeah, go on. Yeah, Tenoweka Banzai, repeat the last sentence because your internet was
What
gone.
happened?
Oh, he's still offline, I think. Yeah,
अ,
yeah, he is gone. He'll have
मुझे
to
Let
rejoin.
me, I'd like to
जब
point
तक
Yeah,
वो
out
Abhay, go
आ
on.
रहे
something.
हैं तब तक मुझे दो बातें कहनी है, मैं दो
Yeah.
बातें कह दूं।
Yes, Abhay.
मेरे
Yes.
दादा से एक निवेदन है कि कल रविंद्रनाथ ठाकुर जी का जन्मदिन है, आप शिवाजी उत्सव दोबारा से प्रीमियर करिएगा या फिर आपसे हो सके तो दोबारा से
Right.
पढ़िएगा।
Yes.
एक तो
We'll do
मेरा
a
ये
live stream
आपसे
just on
निवेदन है।
Shivaji Utsav tomorrow. Yeah, good idea.
अ, और दूसरा है कि मेरा एक प्रश्न है, ये 0.5 फ्रंट का क्या होगा भारत में? क्योंकि ये सब चल रहा है और कल 0.5 फ्रंट का ही दिन है। यहाँ पर एक व्यक्ति
Yeah.
ने प्रश्न भी पूछा है। आपको क्या लगता है? क्योंकि बंगाल में तो इसका प्रभाव वैसे भी बहुत अधिक है।
Yeah, I honestly believe that 0.5 front cannot function without USAID. Whatever grasp they have is in the minds and in the inside the campus and stuff. That can be countered only through sheer volume of Hindutva and anti-Pakistan discourse, which a lot of commies are themselves doing these days. So the size of the 0.5 is also shrinking every day. एंड वो काउंटर एकेडेमिया में तो काउंटर बीजेपी आरएसएस करेगा नहीं, तो जब तक हम यूट्यूब एल्गोरिदम ये सब देखते और भी 0.5 का साइज छोटा हो जाएगा, बट 0.5 इज एब्सोल्युटली इनएफेक्टिव एट द मोमेंट, आई थिंक.
No, I don't completely agree. See, I have lived in leftist circles, okay, especially in the
Yeah.
Western leftist circles, and you understand one
Yeah.
thing: they adapt very quickly. They adapt like that.
I agree.
Okay, so right now, if BJP is in
Yes.
power, they will adapt to the BJP. Means they will say, let us put our let us influence the BJP by being their friend.
That
Okay.
they will, yes. They're already
They will
doing it.
they will make you let your guard down. They will get you to change your policies for them. दोस्त है तू, तूने हाथ
Yeah.
आगे बढ़ाया है. They will use they will say, oh, you change your policies. Now let me help you build those structures, and they will join. They will enter the government. They'll enter the bureaucracy. They'll enter all your institutions. This is why Vivek
that's what I mean.
Chaudhary is very correct when he says, government आपका हो सकता है, but system हमारा है. They enter systems, and you know one thing, they don't like, okay, a pure Marxist like Slavoj Žižek, Slavoj Žižek is a pure
Yeah.
Marxist, and his perspective is
Yeah.
very fixed. It's not going to change too much. These people are different.
Yeah.
These people will change. They'll adapt. So what will happen is, they may look like a Hindutva, but they're actually leftist. Like
Yeah.
उनका end goal एक ही है, dismantle the system, but get into the system पहले. So अगर आप देखेंगे, ये नीना, have you heard of Nina Turner?
Yeah.
So Nina Turner very smart. उन्होंने black politics लेके, then they went to leftist politics. Leftist politics they take, then they go to woke politics. Woke politics they take, they'll go back to centrist politics. Move करते रहेंगे, but fundamentally leftist ही है. वो same victim card खेलना है हर जगह, and get power, gain power. Same thing, lots of groups say, you don't even realize you're falling for their narrative. You won't even realize yourself you're falling for their narrative. That you will be very careful of. This 0.5 front is a very dangerous group because they are very adaptive. And the right cannot handle adaptive because they are very, very principled people. The right you need an establishment, you need strong principles to create that establishment. Right? You don't realize these slippery eels who keeps changing their form. We don't know how
Yes.
to deal with it. So we need to be very careful of the point front war. And I'm telling you one thing. वो अगर उनको पाकिस्तान इस्लामिस्ट से पैसा नहीं मिलेगा, they will go to Christian fundamentalists. Christian fundamentalists पैसा नहीं मिलेगा, then they'll go to Marxists. Marxist
And
fundamentalists पैसा
Christian
नहीं मिलेगा,
fundamentalists, it's only a matter of time before they go to Christian fundamentalists, because then they get to say that, see, Hindus or right wing BJP has a problem with
they've already
everybody.
gone. They've already gone. You have to understand. A large
Yeah.
part of their funding comes from Christian fundamentalists. जो बोलते हैं the threat to our, that's what I'm saying. No, when Ram Madhav went to the US and he talked to the conservative like conference, na,
Yeah.
he talked
Yeah.
to them. I cringed a lot because I knew that the reason they want an alliance with Ram Madhav is because Indians are very gullible. Like the right wing in India is very gullible. They'll give you support.
Do you remember the utter horseshit that Ram Madhav said there? That we have completely ended wokeism, communism from the campuses of India. We have absolutely countered that. The war is won. हम celebrate करने के लिए USA आए हैं.
No, but forget about that. They know that the Indian, because we are so, especially the Indian right now, we're looking for so much validation worldwide. We will say anything. हम support कर देंगे, हम support कर देंगे. Like we will support you. They will use us.
Yeah.
Look at what Trump did. Trump took our votes, took the Hindu vote in the US. Right? He said, if I support, I will support India against a war with Pakistan. Pakistan can go to hell.
Yeah.
He said this. He said this.
That's what they are doing today.
Now what he's saying?
That's what they are doing right now. Yeah.
No. Now what they're saying is, oh, de-escalate. You see, right?
Yeah.
उनको वोट चाहिए, उनको आपका वोट चाहिए, बस. Then what happened is initially what he was like, oh, I will make sure that everyone gets a green card immediately. You're a valuable worker, I'll get your green card quickly. Now what they're saying, oh, my people are pushing me to get rid of all Indians. So I will not कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा.
Now I have two questions for you all again. That firstly, then what do we do about the 0.5%, the 0.5 front, and হচ্ছে যে when will we have the equivalent of Al Jazeera from India, which will be taken as seriously as Al Jazeera is taken in all over the world? It somehow is taken as a proper legit source.
I have something to say about Al Jazeera thing.
Yeah.
As you are a libertarian, so like Al Jazeera, would you want the government to fund some news agency?
No.
So that is one thing. And another thing is about 0.5, I wanted to say was that there is an attempt to stoke the 0.5 here in India by saying that Indian army attacked mosques in Pakistan. So this is a religious war. So so all these things are also happening. That's all I wanted to say.
And Al Jazeera is a shadow deep state of Qatar. Is it officially Qatar government's handle?
Officially, the funding comes from government of Qatar.
So it's the equivalent of BBC then.
Yeah. No, correct.
Right. So we have Doordarshan. So you see, only libertarianism can save us. Indian government funding is always horseshit. We can't help but do libertarianism.
I have a different perspective. Okay, again.
Yeah, go on.
See, this is my biggest problem with most. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can go. You can finish your point. I'll come in later. My point is a little bigger. That's right.
Yeah. I just need to point one point across. That is, I hope that first post excels a lot. I hope that, and it doesn't end up being funded by BlackRock and Vanguard for itself to expand. That would be really problematic.
First Post is just a one-man show. It is completely run by that lady. I forgot her name. Isn't that so?
No. Palki is the figurehead. So she's the major. But the First Post is run by that Bengali guy. What's his name? Abhijit Mujumdar.
Abhijit Mujumdar. Yes, I know him. I follow him on Twitter.
He runs First Post. He's one who runs. Great.
Yeah.
No, they have Raja Munib is there. There are many people.
Yeah.
Like right-leaning, not right-wing, right-leaning people. Raja Munib is there.
Palki is not right-leaning. Palki is centrist. We have to accept Palki's interest. See, the problem we don't realize is that you can have a nationalist who is left, center, and right, all three. But nationalism is not only the right wings can be nationalists. It's not true. No, my
But
point.
Palki, when she does say seemingly right wing things, they are very bad arguments. Again, who gave you the right, etc. Or protein shake is bad because it's Western propaganda. Those kinds of right wing things she says.
That's not right
She's a
wing.
boomer RSS person.
How is it
That
right wing?
India is so great that we don't need protein shakes.
No. That's not right wing. You're mixing up different things. You're mixing
That's
up.
right wing for most Hindutvadis. That's the
I think it's a
Gandhian
misnomer.
right
That's
wings.
what it is. Because it is not actually right wing, but we have made it so weird that it looks like right wing.
Yeah.
But apart from this, I've got a point to make that about the decimation of the 0.5 front. I think most of it will be taken care of as it is already taken care of by the banning of USAID. Apart from it, I think if we economically advance, I think most of it is going to be taken care of.
No, I don't.
Won't that be the case?
No,
I don't.
to be
You will
honest,
always
I don't
fight.
think it is that simple. Sorry, Anand was going to say something. I'm sorry.
Fine. I want to make the bigger
You
point
had a
about the.
point
I
to
don't
put
want to
up.
twist the point we were discussing earlier. The point we were discussing earlier about first post becoming, a large newspaper that we
Yeah.
have similar to Al Jazeera, because that's a very important point. It's about
Yeah.
media, and my criticism of
Yeah.
Arnab Goswami, the biggest is this only. This the point with you want a media channel first. You have to speak to ideas that the world wants to hear about first. So that's the reason why coup failed. Coup failed because they just copied Twitter for India. That doesn't work. You want to create a global platform, you got to create a platform or a news channel that the world wants to discuss. First thing, your goal should be very clear. Issues the world wants to discuss. First thing. So, world wants to
Yeah.
discuss globalization. World wants to discuss culture war. World wants to discuss right now, unfortunately, Islamic
Yeah,
terrorism.
bro, we must get into every fucking conversation all across the world on every topic and say our piece, and then we'll get taken seriously on stuff we say about our country as well. Every day I've
Yes,
been thinking, why doesn't Op India have a film, sports, television, pop culture division in Op India? Otherwise, no one's going to take Op India seriously ever.
exactly. You hit the point, right? You got that. Culture, films,
Yeah.
culture war on films. Like you literally need to write
Yes.
articles about things that are the world. For example, there should be one article about this Shadows, what that Ubisoft game was it? It's Assassin's Creed Shadows, and how
Japan-based game.
yes, you must talk about that controversy. That controversy you need to talk about. You need to talk about.
To be honest, I would add gaming also. I would add gaming to it also.
No,
They
they're
should
not
cover
going.
gaming.
I'm talking about the
Right.
overall. I'm talking about the key topics that the world wants to discuss. There are certain
Well, apart
topics the
from
world
that-
wants to discuss.
I wanted to discuss
Yes.
one small point here.
You have to
That
become
is-
relevant in everyone's eyes. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
finish my point about the media thing.
Yeah,
So we move on.
absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, see, the fundamental power of Twitter, of Facebook was something in commonality with the world. You have to establish that. You can't be like, oh, like, and there's a problem. A lot of these people who start
Exactly.
their channels like, why am I not growing? You're like, no, Hindi baat karni hai. Like, okay, you will get all the Hindi speakers, but beyond that, you will not grow. And like, mera channel viewership dhal gaya. No, first get all the viewers, then you start talking in Hindi. Then they use like, oh, I like this channel a lot. मुझे भी हिंदी समझना है. Let me also learn Hindi too so I can watch this channel. You start off with your small bucket and say, I'm not going to add anyone else. Then obviously your bucket is going to remain small. You expand your bucket, then you manipulate your bucket. Oh, you have to learn Hindi as well to understand my channel. That's how it should be.
Your content
Yeah.
should be so
Now-
powerful that others are literally forced to learn your language. I think that is
Yes.
the point.
Yes.
And another point, sorry, please continue.
Yeah. Mushin was making
Yeah,
a point, I think.
I just want to continue the fact that about the language thing, because if your language is marketed well, if it produces good films, good gaming content, or whatever, good content overall, everybody would want to understand it, understand your culture. And if they want to understand your culture, language is the backbone of that understanding. So it is.
Do you see then? You see the headlines. Are you seeing the headlines?
What is happening? What is going on?
No, read what is setting right there in Republic. US accusing Pakistan of supporting terrorism for
Oh my God.
years. For years. The State
It is
Department has
common
clearly
language.
come out and said it.
They haven't said it out loud, but it is common knowledge in the US.
No. They've said out loud.
The dynamic that we've seen in the Middle East disrupting
Let's
lives.
see.
And clearly, what happened in Kashmir is awful. And we've all, of course, we send our condolences. The world has rejected the nature of that kind of violence overall, of course, and certainly the president has and continues to. But at this moment in time, there's like one thing that has to stop, which is a back and forth and a continuation of this. And that is what we're focused on right now.
We say stop.
ये क्या दिन है?
I just remembered one point about this while we are going on with this Pakistan-India stuff. Do you know how the British are reacting to the India and Britain free trade policy?
Yeah,
They're
the
absolutely-
British
they're
right-wingers are
absolutely
really
mad
unhappy.
about it. They're
Of course they're
absolutely mad
unhappy.
about it.
Of course they're unhappy because fundamentally, that's my point. My whole point was, why the hell did Rishi Sunak even volunteer to help those fuckers?
Yeah,
He should have said, jacket doob maro. Because you understand, they were
Yeah.
looking for a patsy. And they found a
Yeah.
brown patsy. Because you think about it,
yeah,
they chose 3 incompetent fucking white people before they chose him.
yeah.
And then when he
By the
failed,
way, we have
when he failed, they're like, oh, it's because he's brown. Not because the rest of the 3 incompetent white people earlier messed up the economy more than anything you could do before that. They didn't blame those white people. They blamed him.
By the way,
They are
let's
now-
take. We will take Kartik Shutra's interesting question here.
एक पॉइंट मैं ऐड कर दूं ये ग्लोबल कल्चरल वॉर में कि हम जो ग्लोबलाइजेशन पर बात करने की बात करते हैं उसमें केवल ये नहीं कि जो ग्लोब में बात हो रही है उसमें हम मतलब हम उनकी हाँ में हाँ मिला दे। ये एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है इंडियंस के साथ कि हम अपने आप को ग्लोबलाइज कर लेते ना कि ग्लोबल कल्चर में कंट्रीब्यूट करते। जैसे कि
Yeah,
मैं एक उदाहरण देता हूँ, पेरिस में जैसे फैशन का शो है या मीट है, तो हमें अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्यों नहीं रखना चाहिए फैशन में कि हमारे ड्रेसिंग कल्चर क्या है। हमें अपने आप को
Yeah.
ग्लोबलाइज करने का सोचना चाहिए ना कि उनके जैसा बनने का। तब वर्ल्ड
Yeah.
हमें सीरियसली लेगी कि वी आर पुटिंग अ न्यू पर्सपेक्टिव टू द वर्ल्ड, नहीं तो फिर नहीं लेगी वो सीरियस। हाँ, हमें उनकी भाषा में बोलना, वो जिस भाषा में
Yes.
समझे उसमें बोलना, वो जरूरी है।
No, but
Yeah.
so you are right. But you look at who the people are actually doing the good work. Indian musicians. Ricky Tej,
Yeah.
and the other lady that recently she won a Grammy for
That
her.
Hanuman kind guy is doing such good work.
Yeah,
If you see, Run It Up was such a great video and a song. He gave a great
Yeah.
message through that video.
yeah. Now,
I think if
so
we were
what are
talking
your
about
thoughts about
power,
Acharya Prashant and his statement on Pahalgam attack? What
One
did
more
he
before
say?
you go to Acharya Pahalgam, before you go to Acharya Prashant. One more thing if you notice.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Yeah.
all news is showing that the attack against Pakistan is still going on. Means Asim Muni
Right.
is definitely not been arrested. Because if he was arrested, they would have stopped the attack. Everyone would have stopped attacking. So he's not arrested.
Would they really?
They would. They would literally.
No,
Because the
ये-
primary target of the thing would have stopped. So they would have stopped.
I think it's already
ये
approved.
आचार्य प्रशांत के बारे में यदि जानना, ये आचार्य प्रशांत पे मैं एक छोटी सी बात कह दूं, इसके बारे में जानना है तो नीरज यात्री के चैनल पे जाओ। उन्होंने
Yeah.
जैसे इसके धागे खोले और किसी ने नहीं खोले, ये पक्का कट्टर वामपंथी व्यक्ति है जो वेदांत के नाम पर जहर बेच रहा है समाज, और कुछ नहीं कर रहा।
Hence proving
बहुत
my point
चालाकी से
about
कर
the
रहा है।
point. Hence proving my point about the point about the 0.5 front. They are snake. They will change their shapes. They will slip into Hindutwadi. They will suddenly go into left. They'll keep moving. You have to be aware of what their tactics are. Very important.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Hindutwadi, Manuvadi communists. so to speak.
Yes. Even that Manuvadi communist is very angry with Modi for doing this war.
अरे but I don't get this concept of Manuwadi communist. ये क्या होता है? I don't understand. First of all, Manuwadi is not egalitarian. Like basically the different levels of pain and punishment and reward for different parts of society. At the same time, you're a communist. I'm like, makes no sense to me.
So maybe he read some again different translation of Manusmriti, because the thing with our texts are that everyone does a different translation and everyone goes on criticizing the specific translation. So I have a translation of, I have a small gist of Quran in English, printed by Ramakrishna Mission. If you read that, it's a sort of a small pocket book. If you read that, you'll convert to Islam right now. You'll think that it's the greatest religion ever. तो उसने भी कुछ अपने तरह का कुछ मनुस्मृति पढ़ लिया होगा, मार्क्स से
Well,
मनुस्मृति.
apart from this, my question is to all the panelists here: what do you think is going to be the final outcome of this war? Do you think there will be a nuclear endgame to this kind of thing? Will it
No.
escalate to that?
3-4 pieces of Pakistan and POK with us. Yeah. Navima, she's asking about the what will be the final outcome of this war.
I
Okay,
think
so
POK is fine, but I don't think that if we divide four
Yeah.
pieces for Pakistan into 4 pieces, it's going to be very much beneficial for us in the longer run, because they are going to be fighting with each other and they will also fight with us as well. All the 4 pieces. It's not going to be peaceful in the longer run.
If they fight with us with 4 pieces, it's the same as them fighting with us with 1 piece, because
No,
the resources are going to be the same.
no, forget you're missing
No,
one
no,
very
no. The
important point.
resources are going to be divided. They
No,
won't
forget
be
about the resources.
organized.
No,
if
he's
they
saying
are
that the 4
divided
will
into four.
unite.
Forget
The 4
about
will
this.
unite and
All.
attack us.
No, forget about all of
It's
them.
it's very unlikely. In my
No,
view.
wait. You guys are
Anyway,
forgetting one.
Anand, go.
You're forgetting one very important thing. We control all 6 rivers. They have
पानी
to
नहीं
come
होगा तो
begging to us.
कैसे सिंधु देश सिंध कोलैबोरेट करेगा पंजाबी पाकिस्तान से?
First Sindh
That's what
will
I hear
say,
right now.
please Bhagwan, हमें पानी दो. First they will say, we will do anything you want, पानी दो. Balochistan will say,
That's what
thank you,
fears me
sir.
right
Thank you so much for helping us get back our land. We will make you friends like Afghanistan has done it. Now,
Yeah.
only two left is Punjabi Pakistan and TTP, basically the northern parts of Pakistan. Now, northern parts of Pakistan will be a threat because they are terrorists, highly radicalized.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa.
But lucky for us, POK is in the way. We just need to make sure the people from TTP can't make their way through POK to our parts of Kashmir. That's all. Left is Punjab, Pakistan now. Now that part we have to use the Americans and Chinese to find a way to manage these morons. That's all.
Yeah.
Trust me on this. POK should not be touched for the next 2-3 years. Do not touch POK. Let it sit there. It's okay until we start stabilizing these people, like stabilize Sindh, stabilize Balochistan, and see what the TTP finally does. What does it turn into? Right? If the TTP turns into like a standard Islamic group that just wants to run Afghanistan-style Taliban thing, let them run it. Then you can stabilize, take POK and build connections. So, the long game you have to play. They can't rush and say, oh, we want POK today. That we can't do. Very important.
Well, one thing
Yeah.
comes to mind. All these
Today,
things that
there has been a huge surge in support for India, by the way, from all Jewish people and Israeli people and
Yes.
Jewish people all over the world. Huge
I think India
support today on
neutralized
Twitter.
one terrorist who has killed one Jewish journalist. That's why.
Daniel Pearl. He was killed
Daniel.
about 20 years back. Today we got him finally.
We got him. Americans didn't get him. UK didn't get him. Israelis didn't get him. We got him.
Yeah, some small victories.
The
Yeah.
Chad Indian arrived and got him.
But the thing is
Yeah,
that
I would
Pakistan did
just
not
like
have the nukes. I think then it would have been a cakewalk. But the nuke is the thing that we have to take care of, the dagger that is dangling before us. But one thing that makes
Yeah.
me want to think about it is that do they even have warheads to deploy the nukes? I think fissile uranium-235 enough is to make you qualify as a nuclear state. Do they have a deployment machines or procedures?
Whether they have warhead or not doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to start. It's not a standard missile. These are very specialized missiles. It takes time to start them up, right? And you have authorization from Sorry.
Yeah, that's what makes me wonder, because there's a saying in Bengali is that whenever it thunders, it never rains. So there it goes.
No, I don't. I think this nuclear thing is just a good. Think about it, right?
Yeah.
The
Uh,
US was able to
Yeah. Go ahead, Tenoika
catch.
Banzai.
Sorry.
Yes. The thing about the partition of Pakistan, I would like to draw an example from the partition of
Yeah.
Iraq. The country of Iraq is no longer united. It has been divided into three different parts. One part is controlled by Iran. It is a Shia majority part. The second part, mostly the desert region in the western and southern parts, it's Sunni dominated. And the northern part of Iraq, which borders Turkey, is called Iraqi Kurdistan. It also extends a bit into Syria. It is an autonomous region ruled by the Kurds. The Americans had planned this when they were invading Iraq in 2003 2004. So it is completely American will. If they wish, they can activate their proxies in Balochistan. BLA is paid for by the CIA. Uh, I had heard someone saying in Adi Achin's show, as well as Pavneet Singh said it once. BLA is funded by the CIA now. We used to fund BLA in the past, but it was probably the Modi government, first term of the Modi government or the last term of the UPA government, when we broke off ties with the BLA. Many BLA commanders come to India for treatment. It's confirmed. Like, we have good ties with the BLA. We might support them if push comes to shove. So if USA actually wants to break up Pakistan, they can do so. Some people have a conspiracy theory that the Americans left their weapon stores in Afghanistan because they had to cut some kind of deal with the new Taliban government. The Taliban would act as an American proxy and fight against Iran, because Iran is one of their largest enemies. Like, they would put pressure on the eastern border of Iran so that they wouldn't interfere in Israel and Lebanon. So if they want, they can, the Americans can activate the TTP, they can activate the BLA. We can put pressure on the eastern flank of Pakistan and it may break apart. So we are effectively looking at the rump state of Pakistan, consisting of Punjab, Sindh, and a bit of Azad Jammu and Kashmir. We might try to take up Gilgit Baltistan.
No, I think
now firstly let's just check out the news. Wait. Yeah. Abhay, go on. Then we will discuss something else. Yeah, go on, Abhay.
शॉर्ट पॉइंट बोलता हूँ. हाँ, मुझे एक 0.5 फ्रंट पर एक पॉइंट बात करनी है कि आपने कहा था ना कि यूएस एड को बंद कर दिया गया है तो अभी समस्या का निवारण हो जाएगा. नहीं, इसमें समस्या क्या है? राजीव मल्होत्रा और विजया कृष्णन जी ने अभी एक नई पुस्तक लिखी है, हु इज रेजिंग योर चिल्ड्रन. उस पर आप कृपया निश्चित रूप से थोड़ा जांच पड़ताल कीजिए. उसमें लिखा जा रहा है, उसमें बताया जा रहा है कि कैसे वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम और क्या बोलते हैं यूनाइटेड नेशंस के कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जैसे यूनिसेफ वगैरह, कैसे भारतीय व्यवस्था में घुस रहे थ्रू लीगल, हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री. तो उन्होंने हमारे हेल्थ में एजुकेशन में एक करिकुलम ऐड करवाया है जो कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स में आता है, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव सेक्सुअलिटी एजुकेशन. ऐसे 5-6 है. तो ये अब हमारे एजुकेशन में भी धीरे धीरे घुस रहे हैं. एनईपी में भी ऐसे कुछ बातें हैं. तो उन्होंने इस पर बहुत विस्तार से बातें की है. तो इस इशू को बहुत गंभीरता से लेना चाहिए. यूएस एड बंद कर देने से काम नहीं बनेगा कभी. और मैंने एक बार ये साइट चेक किया था, ये नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे का. ठीक है, नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे का मैंने फॉर्म्स और साइट चेक किया था. मेल और फीमेल के लिए, मैन और वुमेन के लिए फॉर्म्स बहुत बायस्ड है, जस्ट टू शो कि विमेन आर बिगर विक्टिम्स इन इंडिया. और मैंने जब उनके फंडर्स देखे तो उसमें यूएस एड थे, बिल एंड मेलिंडा फाउंडेशन थे और ये लोग थे. हमारी देश की सर्वे की फंडिंग ये लोग कर रहे हैं और ये लोग समाज में बहुत ज्यादा अस्थिरता क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. तो ये सब को नकारा नहीं जा सकता. खाली यूएस एड बंद होने से नहीं होगा.
I think this point was made
This
by
so Indian government is not going to Indian government GOI's state is not going to counter this at all. Firstly, for two reasons: because they think that some of this is actually the right thing to teach. They also want things to progress, and also because Indian bureaucracy, Indian ministers, a lot of them a lot of senior BJP leaders are also on the payroll of the deep state. भाई ये भी हमको भूलना नहीं है. 0.5 is not just in the
अरे
campuses of Jadavpur University.
अरे राजीव
0.5 is
मल्होत्रा
inside the
बोल रहे
parliament
थे,
as well.
राजीव मल्होत्रा जी बोल रहे थे नीति आयोग का जब वो साइड में गए थे तो उसमें सब जगह यूएन यूएन यूएन, तो बोल रहे थे कि ये सरकार को रिपोर्ट करते ना यूएन को रिपोर्ट करते. चल क्या रहा है, सब जगह यूएन यूएन यूएन.
For
उनके साइड
for
में
those reasons,
Not so.
even
not
if
so.
Yogi becomes the PM, he's not going to be allowed to counter these particular things.
No. Wait. You're guys looking into very black and white. You'd understand a large section of Indian populace like some of these ideas. You have to be honest. A lot of Indians
Exactly.
why are so Indians when they go abroad so frequently leftist? I mean, in terms of they vote for Democrats, they vote for left parties. Indian society likes, we may be collectivists, but we like such concepts. We like these, these like very good feeling stuff. We like it.
I
It makes us
think our
feel good.
elites are very susceptible to it.
Yeah.
That is what I've noticed with our reading.
Even commentary. There's a reason why Samajwad is so popular in India. Because that feeling, oh, we're doing good for people, like
Yeah.
touchy feely stuff. अच्छा लगता है Indians को. The brutal honesty of
हाँ
a
ये
libertarian
है,
life.
पर इसको काउंटर तो करना पड़ेगा, आई गेस.
No, I understand.
ये
I
फॉरेन
understand.
इंटरफेरेंस है.
No,
हाँ,
it's not.
तो भाई global states, global countries, global media houses, global academics are on one side, and on this side you also have the Indian government not countering it. Indian government is also on that side. So yes,
again,
the counter we are talking about can only happen through YouTube and
No, but you can only counter it if you accept the parameters of what causes it to happen. There are multiple things that cause it to happen. When you look at something black and white, you're not able to miss the other parameters. So if you want to counter it, you understand first, yeah, you're right. The foreign interference paisa aa raha hai. दूसरी बात है हमारा bureaucracy is basically very well suited to disseminate this among the population, right? And third part is the population is really susceptible to these kind of things. So if you want to counter it, all three aspects need to be tackled. You can't just tackle one aspect and expect it to be fixed. So if you want to change the narrative, even the libertarian idea needs to be explained in clarity to people and made palatable to people. They must understand why libertarian is so important. Being a libertarian is so important. You must convince them. Without convincing them, it's not going to work.
yeah.
With overall. You cut off funding of the foreigner,
I
but you
think-
can't convince the local.
By the way,
It's not
ABP
gonna
Ananda is reporting that
I think
Sialkot
the first thing. Sorry, yeah.
Sialkot is also under attack.
That could be an attack for some time.
Yeah, Sialkot is also under attack.
It's been attacked for some time.
Yeah, go on. Oh, acha. Yeah.
So
Go on,
I
Abhay.
was saying that we need to make our state accountable. People need to have that awareness to make
Yes.
our state accountable, whether it's our courts, whether it's our
Yes,
parliament
we need
or
to.
executive.
Yeah.
We don't make our state accountable at all, or administration accountable at all. That is
Can I
what
ask you a
costs us
question?
all the time.
Can I ask you a question? For all the craziness that happens on social media, saying, "Oh, this is unacceptable, this is unacceptable," how many Indians will get up, go to their local place, say, "How dare? Why is this thing not working properly? Show me the paper that this is not work. Why is not working properly?" कोई Indian करेगा नहीं, उनको किसी और को देना है. Like, oh, you take charge of the task to go and do this thing. I don't want to do it. I elect you to do this thing. Like, forget about not formal election. Saying there are 10 people, they're like, oh, why should we go do it? No, I'll give you the task. Tu jaake kar. We give away our franchise. We give away our agency to someone else every time.
In Bengal, if you do it, Trinamool Gundas will unalive you. So that's out of question in Bengal. Individual responsibility Bengal में काम नहीं करता है.
Can I answer
Let's
this
see. We have some
statement?
questions actually.
Can I answer the statement?
Do you think news about Imran Khan can be true?
No, wait. This
answer what?
statement on your can I answer the statement on your pitch, on your thing, the chat? Lord MG TOW.
Yeah, go on.
Can I say you are not a Bangladesh, you're not an American of Bangladeshi origin.
Yeah.
You're an American of Bengali origin, if you want to say it. Bangladesh is not an identity, it's not a ethnicity. It is a nation state. Stop doing this. You're not a Pakistani of.
It's
You're
a
not
temporary
Pakistani
fake
ethnicity.
country.
You're not Bangladeshi ethnicity. You're a Bengali. That's fine. Proudly say you're Bengali. So you're American of Bengali origin. You're American. You're an American of Punjabi origin. You're American of Sindhi origin. You're American of Pathan origin. Let's stop this Bangladeshi origin, Pakistani origin. There's no such bloody thing. We need to stop this. This is the whole problem in the world. With the Indian subcontinent, not South Asia. Okay, let's stop
Half
this.
Blood
I'm
Prince is
getting-
saying Anand is also USAID. He unintentionally exposed how he joined this channel, took paid membership. Now he adopts Hindutva, and now he will slowly convert us to his POV. That's what he's trying to do.
I fully accept that I want to convert you to my POV. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Now we will have a new guest on. He's also waiting in line for that.
भाई
Someone
sex
will have
orientation
to
change
go
मत
out.
करा देना बस.
I will
Yes,
leave.
yes.
Okay,
I will drop
Okay,
off. I will drop. I talk a lot. I'll drop off for a bit. Okay.
Okay.
no, I need to go
Okay.
to.
Okay. Yeah. Even we will end the live stream pretty soon. So Pritish is
Yeah.
here. Before that, let's just check this out. Okay. Let's see. कितना दुख दर्द पीड़ा मिला है हमारे सारगना फकट भाई को because of the trade deal between UK and India.
I am genuinely in awe at the levels of betrayal the British government, no matter which party is in charge, is prepared to inflict on the British public. Like, there are so many knives in our back at this point that it blows your mind that such things can be done ever, let alone now, for whatever reason. And God only knows what reason. The Labour Party are thrilled. This government has secured a trade deal with India. Well, pat yourselves on the back, boys, because I'm sure you're going to really, really want to hear the details of this. Today, Britain has agreed a landmark trade deal with India. Fantastic news for British business, British workers and British shoppers, delivering on our plan for change. My God, the change is going to be incredible. So, okay, what are the details, Keir? Give us the deets. What's the lowdown? How's this going to improve things for us? And the answer is, you're fucked. Well, absolutely fucked. It's just so preposterous. Like,
That's
it is
probably
so
what we do.
profoundly unfair. And such a small amount of money that we're getting in return that we're expected to get from this. I'm just like, right, okay, this has to be deliberate. This just has to be deliberate. It just has to be just open betrayal, right? It must be that Keir Starmer is actually some kind of accelerationist, and he wants some kind of extremely right-wing
Am I
government
audible?
to take over and fix everything. So that's all I can get from the choices they make. Look at this, right? The UK signs a trade deal with India in £5 billion boost the economy. That sounds like a lot of money, but it's a really, really small amount of money in comparison. For example, the NHS is £165 billion a year. So, okay, pays for what? 20 minutes of NHS spending or something like this. This is a really, really small amount of net. And when you see the cost of it, you'll just be like, oh my God, I wouldn't agree to that if I had a gun to my head. This is crazy, right? So as the Times are telling us, well, it's 0.1% rise in GDP. And what are we getting for this 0.1% rise? Well, we have made a series of concessions to Delhi, including an exemption from national insurance payments for Indian workers in Britain. As in, we have to pay for the NHS, but they don't have to pay for the NHS. Even though if one of them gets injured or falls sick, they still get to use it. Oh my God, this is insufferable. I just can't believe it. I cannot believe this was the concession we had to make. The British will subsidize Indian workers in Britain. Oh my God, right? I bet Modi calls it a historic milestone. No kidding. No kidding. Ministers denied the agreement leading to an increase in visas from India, but businesses would benefit from a clear and simplified approval process. So it's going to increase the number of visas from India. That's what's going to happen. And of course, we're going to scrap tariffs on textile imports, and just as if we're interested in buying Indian textiles, right? So again, they're like, wow, this will be 4.8 billion within 15 years. 15 years? What's inflation going to be over that time? Like, this is crazy. And increase wages by 2.2 billion, but whose wages? This is just, I think I'm going mad. I think I'm genuinely going mad. So the Times article just gives us kind of like wishy-washy details. What are the real details? I had to go to this LBC article to find out. Right at the bottom, right? The deal also includes the Double Contributions Convention, which means Indian workers coming to Britain and British workers going to India will not have to pay national insurance contributions in both countries for the first 3 years. Now, where does that line up? Is that a balanced deal that we've got there? No, there are obviously far more Indians coming to Britain than there are British people going to India. In fact, we know the numbers. Britain receives 250,000 new Indian migrants every year, and they're going to be tax exempt. Furthermore, a new cap on the number of Indian professionals in come to the UK. Musicians, chefs, and yogis was agreed as part of the negotiations. Oh yeah, because we've got a massive shortage of yogis. What is this? And so this means, as Farage has rightly pointed out, that it will be 20% cheaper to hire Indian foreign workers than native British workers. This means Keir Starmer has actually successfully rigged the economy in favor of Indians over British people. This, and by a measurement of a fifth as well. It's not like if it was 5% or something. Okay, not great. You know, it shouldn't be rigged against us, but 20%, because the companies themselves don't have to pay the national insurance contribution either. So it's just better for companies to hire Indians, which means everyone at Lotus Eaters is getting great replaced. Obviously, I'm joking. I've got to make jokes because this is maddening. This is genuinely maddening, right? What kind of economy rigs itself against the native workers? Like Keir Starmer also, remember, he came in and hiked up national insurance contributions during the budget by like 2% or something. Not the world's greatest increase, but an increase nonetheless. And then just cancels it entirely for Indian immigrants, making it 20% cheaper to hire Indians over British people. This is mad. This is just such an open betrayal, such a stab in the back. Like every company and there are so many companies, corporations, large multinational corporations working in Britain, right? They get to move their Indian employees to Britain now and not pay national insurance contributions on them. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is just, it's beyond the pale. It's totally beyond the pale. It's like they want Nigel Farage to be in charge, right? That's basically what they're saying. Is no, this is accelerationism.
No, Nigel Farage will be in charge because he has made a deal with the devil because he has disowned Tommy Robinson.
We want Farage in charge. We want the British public to hate us because, frankly, we're against them. We have set our faces against the British public. We have decided that we are going to capitulate on a deal with India to make it so that their workers are a fifth more employable in Britain than British people. And you know what? Screw you, not our problem. I mean, it's just mad. And people are just like, this is comical, absolutely comical. How is it we have a yogi shortage? And again, people like 0.168% of UK GDP in 15 years. That is such a small number. And okay, the GDP overall,
एक छोटा सा comment है
0.168%. But do you think your wages are going to improve? Or
Okay, go ahead.
यदि इंडियन वर्कर्स नहीं चाहिए ना तो बच्चे पैदा करो.
Yeah.
सीधी बात है. तुम बच्चे भी नहीं पैदा करोगे तुमको काम भी करवाना कैसे होगा? फालतू बकवास करते हो.
नॉर्थ अफ्रीका से ही लेना है तो हमसे ही ले लो.
You're going to literally be out of a job and replaced by a cheap Indian immigrant. My God, this is insufferable. And of course, India is like, this is the best trade agreement we've ever had because this is incredible. The Indian government says that they've boasted the new deal will deliver a double contribution, blah, 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 right? The consequences for our labor market could be huge. And again, this is a conservative MP. He's not someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. In the press release, the Indian government is clear about what this means. They call it a huge win that will provide this 3-year grace period. And again, if you're an Indian worker in an Indian company, you could come over here, work for a higher wage that undercuts the British worker, and then just after 3 years, just move back. And send all that money back. Because of course, there's nothing preventing them from just sending any money they earn overseas. So this is a massive extraction process from our economy at the expense of our workers. This is mad.
Extraction process, also known as colonialism, extractive colonialism. भाई हमारा colonialism भी work from home है. हम घर बैठे बैठे extractive colonialism कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, बिना वहां पे जाके. क्या बात है?
What is the funny
Indian
part
officials
about
say this is an unprecedented achievement that will make Indian service providers significantly more competitive in the UK. Amazing. So native business is going to be undermined by this. Native workers are going to be undermined by this. And the Indians are thrown because this is such a one-sided deal. This is literally like Britain's own century of humiliation. Except we didn't lose a war, right? We didn't lose like the Opium Wars. India didn't send gunships up the Thames or something. Nothing happened. And for some reason, our government's like, how can we stab them in the back today? I think this, oh yeah, look soft.
It's more of
what I just said, that work from home से ही remote work से ही extractive colonialism कर लिया. Who is speaking here? Yeah, go on. Yeah, go ahead, Pritesh.
I was thinking Islamic Republic of Britain. How is it? Like name change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they will be pretty soon.
Englistan, Londonistan, ये सब होगा.
Yes.
The most funny part about this is that they are mad because Indians are cheaper than their native workers. They want expensive salaries, but they don't want the Indians to work for cheap. Also, they are the only ones who are going to reap the benefits of the Indian workers.
Yeah, and
उसके
when
बाद
this when Vivek's comment went viral and stuff, that's when people started countering Vivek by saying that no, we don't want to live like slaves. We don't want to have that kind of upbringing. We want to chill and grow up. तो भाई chill and grow up करोगे तो कैसे इंडियन के साथ compete करोगे?
तो उसके
Asian
बाद
parents
इंडिया
है
के
ही
ऊपर
ऐसे ऐसे.
रेसिज्म करेंगे, इंडिया के ऊपर रेसिज्म
Yeah.
करेंगे उसके बाद.
Yes. Let's complete this video.
Continue stabbing. And of course, the Indian government says the deal will ease mobility for intra-corporate transferees, as well as their partners and dependent children and people like yoga instructors, musicians and chefs. Great. So now hundreds of thousands of more Indian dependents will come over. They will doubtless pull off the welfare state without contributing to at least any national insurance. This is, oh God, this is insufferable. I just can't take it. I just can't take it. And
गधे
of
वो
course,
तेरा
because they're
देश
common law
चलाने के लिए
citizens,
आएंगे.
they'll be able to vote in our elections as well. So the Labour government honestly looks like they're desperately trying to import a new voter bloc. And you know what? If you're an Indian who moves to the UK, why wouldn't you vote for Labour after doing this for you? And of course, people were like, well, look, are you going to cut the wind fuel allowance with this new money you're bringing in? I mean, it's not going to be enough, but they're like, no. Our pensioners can freeze. The Indians become first-rate employees because they're cheaper than native employees, and Indian companies get an unfair competitive advantage over British companies. So screw yourself is what they're saying. This is incredible. Like former Home Office official, India is literally laughing at us and taking us for mugs. Yeah, right. And this is such a huge capitulation that even Rishi Sunak didn't do it. Rishi Sunak, the guy who began with 250,000 Indian immigrants a year because he is an Indian, even he wouldn't do this to Britain. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this was a conservative initiative. They tried in 2022, Kenny Badenoch tried to get this UK-India trade deal, but India was like, look, no, we have to be able to export as many of our people to you as possible or no trade deal. And so even Rishi Sunak wouldn't do this. And that means that conservatives like Jacob Rees-Mogg are trying to take credit for this. Cheaper food and drink, including rice and tea, footwear and clothing. Oh, brilliant, yeah, because I'm so desperate to wear Indian shoes. Christ on a bike. Exactly what Brexit promised. I mean, only because we are the weakest people on the earth. We are the weakest, most pathetic people.
Yeah, we agree. Okay, by the way, Sunita Dey is making an important comment here. She's saying that nothing of this sort will happen. He's just wanting to scare the natives so that they will support him. That's actually true as well. It's not as bad as he's making it out to be. Yeah,
Maybe
now
India
guys,
is on
go
a
ahead.
better half. Maybe India is on a better front in this deal, but it's not like 1-0. Like Britain is no benefit in this deal. Although, by the way, war update, press briefing will be at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes. So Pritish, go ahead. You were speaking right now, right? Did you have something to add when you joined? Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, as of now, this only.
Okay. Yeah. Now Anand, yeah, go ahead. Where did Anand go?
These right-wing
Anand
motherfuckers
is
are
muted
absolutely
or
racist. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Okay. First,
Anand has muted himself and can't. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. Now we need to deal this ass. Okay, and all these people in the same group. I want the internet to see this. If they ever see this video, I want them to see this. Pretty idiots. Okay. First, free trade doesn't mean you only do trade for the native population. Let's be very clear with these morons. Okay. If you have a free trade deal, so then don't sign a free trade deal with anyone. Okay. Second, there are some benefits. There are some benefits that these developed countries get when they buy goods from developing countries. Like literally, if they have to provide the same goods for themselves, they have to work 16 bloody hours for like 1/50th the pay they currently get, even doing basic stuff, right? Until they do this shit themselves, and suffer through that shit, they can't go around complaining, oh, these brown people are going to come take our resources. Like the brown person is literally working 16 hours a day for much less pay, suffering the distance from his family, things that you are taking for granted. Right? You're taking things for granted. So if you understand economics, there's something called opportunity cost. They're sacrificing an opportunity cost that you are getting to enjoy yourself, wear nice clothes, go and have a cup of coffee at your favorite bistro, Those people are not. Those brown people are sitting working their ass off all day
Yeah.
while you're enjoying your bistro coffee. So you are getting something
Yeah.
out of it, right? So if the natives who are not even natives anymore, because they got Saxon blood, they got the Viking blood, they got I don't know what all blood they already have, Roman blood, right? What the fuck
Yeah.
you mean by natives? You're like a mix of you're a bloody mutt. Dogs are mutts, right? Mixed breeds. You get a mixed breeds. So stop acting like you're natives of
Yeah.
any bloody land, especially
Yeah.
especially the UK. You're not fucking natives.
Yeah.
You have this is the problem with them. They do this.
Yeah.
This is racialized
Yeah.
identity. I'm white, so I must be like a white race. Like nonsense. There's no such thing as a white race. So if they really, and the very interesting thing is,
Yeah.
without the Indian trade deal, their economy is going to slump by even a few more percentage. Like we are giving them dan.
Yes.
The Indians are giving this bikaris dan by giving them this trade deal. I'm sorry, we literally are. We
Yeah.
get less out of it. What we get
Yeah.
out of it is like a little bit more influence.
Yeah.
Like we send people to go learn
Yeah.
some skills, go to the university and this kind of thing. That's it. So
Yeah.
they are getting much more out
Yeah.
of it. They're getting the access to a bloody market. Tomorrow we can close our market to these people, they basically
Yeah.
their growth will drop even more. So these people need to stop complaining. They're basically
Yeah.
low-skilled workers who want to be paid like high-skilled workers and still insult the brown men. That's the problem with these people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, we have
Okay.
been giving them dance in the last 400 years.
Before wait, Rishabh will have to join. Yeah. Wait, Mushin. Wait a minute. By the way, someone has to leave now again because Rishabh will have to join. Some y'all can come back later, and I have to respond to this one from our non-native US resident or West resident Bangladeshi person. He's saying that if Indians in Delhi can complain about cheap labor and Rohingyas, then native Brits also have a right to complain letting in cheap labor. That is why Dubai does not give citizenships. No, we don't complain about Rohingyas just because of cheap labor, because that's happening anyway. From wherever whichever place Bengalis go to whichever place in India, they are the cheapest labor. So with Rohingyas, cheap labor is not the concern. The main problem with Rohingyas is that they will become the foot soldiers on the day of the riot. It's not the same conversation. If someone wants to complain about
No,
cheap
it's
labor,
not.
then
It's
also we
not
can
just
talk
that.
legal versus illegal immigration. Rohingyas, as long as they are illegal immigrants, we have a point to make. And Indians in UK are not illegal immigrants. Therefore,
It's not just that. It's also you have to understand one thing. A nation state, when it gives access to a country, it gives access based on parameters you are accepting. You are accepting I'll follow these laws. I'll follow this structure, this agreement
yeah.
among citizens. With the Rohingyas and many
Yes,
illegal
exactly.
Bangladeshis, they have not
Yeah,
accepted
Indians are
these
doing
rules.
that. Rohingyas are not doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, one problem I saw with
Yeah.
this trade agreement was that this the medicine sector, the pharmaceutical sector may take a decline because UK is pushing for this IP exchange and this kind of stuff. So they are like pushing for more patent restrictions and stuff. So আমাদের like আগে patent সিস্টেমটা ডিফারেন্ট ছিল, ওরা পুশ করছে যে আমাদের পেটেন্ট সিস্টেমটাকে চেঞ্জ করতে। So
Yeah.
it may decline, it may reduce
Yeah.
India's exports of global medicine. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acha, I
Yeah.
just
Wait,
want
I'll
to
have to
come in
respond
over
to
here.
that person once again. He's saying that Buddha mat manna, but if you wait, Rishabh, I'll just respond to this. But if you really think Indian workers are doing a favor to British Western societies, then why does all billionaires, actors, politicians send their children abroad to Canada? Yes, the favor is mostly for Indians because they are getting an opportunity to work in England. Yes, that's there. But England is definitely getting something out of it, which is first and foremost legal citizens to work in their fields, which we are not getting from Bangladesh and Rohingyas. Okay, now Rishabh, go ahead.
Yeah, a few things. Okay. First of all, see, this entire whole point is moot. I think Ananda said it best when he said if बच्चे पैदा करो इतना problem है तो whoever said it, they said it best. That
Yeah,
is
Abhay
point
said.
number
Yeah.
one. Abhay said it. हाँ, ठीक है. So,
Yeah.
secondly, see, you have to understand why Europe financially, economically is dead. I mean, I've said it before, I'm saying it
Yes.
again. Name one big European company that has come out after World War II.
Yes, Ananda.
Hmm.
Trying to
Wait,
name
Rishabh's
a
internet.
company.
Yeah, whose
Mhm.
internet is working up?
No, mine is
Yeah,
fine.
go
But
on.
I'm not trying to name an internet company. I mean, trying to name a company, European company that Indians have rejuvenated after World War II. The most famous
Hmm.
company in India right now, Larsen and Toubro. Bloody European company, and we Indians are running
Hmm.
it extremely
Ah,
well.
sure, sure. Even Royal Enfield,
Hmm.
amazing. They're competing with Harleys
वही
in
तो
the
बोल रहा
US.
हूँ वही तो बोल रहा हूँ ये कमी नहीं बोल रहे नेटिव वर्कर why didn't
Yeah.
you make it so successful that the world why is it's competing with the world because it is run by Indians अरे क्रिकेट ले लो भाई क्रिकेट ही ले लो what how many
Like, see,
decades of cricket you had control you could rejuvenate it and make it valuable Indians have to make it valuable
yeah, sure, fair enough. But then, see, cricket is a different
Hmm.
story because if they don't watch cricket anymore, what can they do about it, right? But see, the larger point here is
Yeah.
Europes are the best example of this term namak haram because these fuckers have gotten fat, socially fat, over the American military industrial complex. और सबसे ज्यादा गाली ये लोग ही देते हैं.
Hmm.
I mean, it is on in with the American defense shield
Yeah.
that has allowed all of these societies, all of these countries to not spend on defense while we are spending so much of our GDP. These people can't even afford 2%. They're spending it on all of these idiotic socialist schemes, free healthcare, free education, free lauda lesson. And it what this does is it creates a
Yeah.
society of people who are adults but practically infantile. Right? You've never grown up. You never actually have to had to do anything. Like my mom had a heart attack 2 months ago, and I had to foot the bill, at least a part of the bill. And if you have never had an experience like that in your life, how do you expect to grow up? So
that
the issue is, I understand the economic part of it, but it is also cultural and social. You have to understand the interplay over here because everything goes hand in hand. यहाँ पे, if for most European countries, any year that they don't have any fiscal year where they don't have a recession is a good fiscal year for them. And the reason for that is all of these insane constraints like the IP laws, that is a very big red flag, honestly, because imposing of European norms in a economy like India is very dangerous. And the UK did not learn from Brexit at all because a lot of their laws, including the IP laws, are still aligned with the EU. So now they've given up their political participation in the EU, but they're still aligned to the EU economically. तो ये मतलब किस लेवल के बेवकूफ है
no
it's
and
like
one more
what
thing
we did after partition,
Hmm.
right? We after independence rather, right? छोड़ दिया हम लोग but अभी भी mentally colonized है. These people they've left the EU but they're still within the EU, economically speaking, still bound to the EU. And as a result of that, what is happening is that they're getting none of the benefits and still footing all of the costs. Now they need to do whatever they can to reduce the labor cost because the economy is not growing, because they've stifled the economy, because of the military industrial complex, which is funding their defense, because of which they have not, instead of investing in industrialization, they have actually deindustrialized, gone whole hog into the service sector. जो जितना बोलना है बोल लो, will not be able to feed your blue collar workers.
no but one
So
more
it
thing
does not matter. It's not like Indians are great, hum log mahan hai, something like that. I don't want to get into all of that. The thing is, it's not India, it's Europe. Europe's fucked itself.
Okay, one more thing
It,
about your statement about
Hmm.
birthing kids. It's not enough to just birth kids.
Hmm.
Your kids must be competent enough to run your industries
hmm,
or innovate. If your kids are only interested in doing Instagram reels and OnlyFans, like what is this
hmm.
economy?
Yeah.
Like you tell
Yeah.
me the average sargon of a card program. ये वो बैठ के बात करते रहते हैं. Have they discussed even one
Yeah.
innovation? कोई इनोवेशन डिस्कस किया है उनके कम्युनिटी में गोरे लोगों को कम्युनिटी
Hmm.
में कुछ नहीं डिस्कस करते हैं
Yeah.
24/7 I don't know what did they fight about they fight about culture war
This guy Sargana Fasad is the white people version of that Hindustani bow, to be honest. Like, कुछ है नहीं ये सब बात करने
Yeah.
को. And you're
नहीं
right.
नहीं
I mean,
वही तो
incentive
बोल
क्या
रहा हूँ
है उनके बच्चों को उनके बच्चों को काम करने का इंसेंटिव क्या है? They have no reason to work. If you're getting taxed 60-65% of your salary, if you're like a median level earner,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
why would you want to save for the future? Why would you want to invest in the future? India में क्या even though we have a pretty messed up economic situation ourselves with all of the socialist policies, in India we always push for extending our
No, forget
retirement
about
age.
India. Let's not talk about
Uh-huh.
India. It's not relevant to the discussion. I'm asking you one
Mhm.
question. The entire video we watched. We watched a video,
Huh.
and in the entire video, did he discuss even one thing about economics? He discussed about, oh, these people come and mooch on our money. He didn't say
Mm.
this is what we can produce with the Indian government and we can sell to the Indian people. This is what we can buy from. Did he study the Indian economy? Did he study the British economy? Did he see what our exports are, imports are? Did he see what is the labor force participation of any sector? कुछ नहीं किया.
Mhm.
His entire
Yeah.
rant
Yeah.
was immigrant यहाँ के हमारे पैसे लेंगे.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
not a deep
someone
dive.
should edit. It was really not just the cultural side of things. He's just scared about immigration. Someone should tell him about a company called Procter and Gamble and how much it earns in India. But anyways, see, that's why I said, oh, Hindustani bhau hai Goro ka. It's not. I don't take him seriously. But there are
Yeah.
some points tangentially that he touched upon are facts, and instead of blaming Indians or Africans or whoever, he needs to focus on why West as a whole is becoming a society where the people are not being incentivized to actually earn money. Like just to complete
Yeah.
my point, like the reason why I was bringing in India is in India we always have this discussion that we need to raise the retirement age. It was 60, now it's 65. Now people are saying raise it to 67. A few
Hmm.
years ago, Emmanuel Macron in France tried to do the same, raise the retirement age, and there were riots in Paris.
Yeah.
The reason
Yeah.
for that was very simple. लोगों के पास savings नहीं है. They're just living
Yeah.
for the day. They are not planning
Yeah.
for the future because they know कि if we fall sick in our old age, सरकार देखेगी. They might be 55, 60-year-old people, but they're mentally infantile.
Yeah.
ऐसा सोसाइटी में कोई ओनली फैंस और ये सब छोड़ के इंस्टाग्राम छोड़ के करेगा क्या?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
are you seeing
Exactly.
that the situation is like cooling down right now? Because I don't see any new news for quite some time.
Hmm.
Actually, I
Yeah, I
came
think
to
it's
know that
done.
the naval thing is false. Actually, no naval attack was made.
Okay.
Okay, so what happened in Karachi then, if you know? Did anything
No,
happen?
No, there was
no,
some
no,
explosives there. It may not have been naval. Could be something else.
no. Like no, Karachi port was not vandalized. I mean, not destroyed. That news is fake.
That was very
Okay.
obviously. For me, when they said Karachi port is destroyed, I'm like, what nonsense? ये
Yeah.
क्या है? India targets
अच्छा
Lahore.
निरंजन था
ये क्या है भाई?
चल ये तो
Yeah.
चल
Yeah.
ही
Go
जा
ahead.
रहा है
क्या?
2 घंटे
India
निरंजन था
छोड़ो.
Yeah. Who's asking me a
Ananda, I
question?
just need to make yeah
Yeah.
Rishabh, yeah, I just need to make one comment for
Okay.
Vaishali's statement, and then I'll just drop
Yeah.
off for the night.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Vaishali, they don't have a problem buying this because they don't have an option. I'm gonna be very honest. Like,
Hmm.
if they try to do that, Daily White tried to do that. They've tried to build like bloody razors, मतलब shaving razors and stuff in the
Yeah.
US.
Yeah.
It flopped
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they can't afford it. Their
Yeah.
economy, matlab, when we look at it from our per capita figures, $50,000, $60,000 for the US, so it's 70 now, sounds a lot, sure. But if you actually factor in purchasing power, the cost of things over there, they cannot afford manufacturing anymore because they've made themselves fat. So
Yeah.
societally, they are all
Yeah.
fat fucks, like Niranjan
All of
likes
their
to say.
all of their influencers have some of their all of the right wing influencers have some make in America line of clothing, boots and stuff. None of them are mass productions. All of them are vanity
Hmm.
gimmicky products. Jocko Willink stuff, all made in America. Ryan Mickler stuff, then black coffee, Black Rifle coffee. None of that is being mass produced or being consumed by the mainstream. It's just a few patriots who follow
And
these people, a portion of those patriots.
and
Basically they cannot do
and
economies of
another
scale anymore for these kind of things.
Yeah, yeah, but go ahead.
and another and another problem with America is that for last few years we are not seeing innovation in America. So they are not going up the value chain, economic value chain. So there is nothing for them to export. If they go lower the economic value chain, then you need cheap labor, which they cannot afford. No, none of the citizens will agree to work for meager
Yeah,
salary. So they have to
The
go up the
point,
higher level chain, economic level
yeah,
chain,
no,
economic
but
chain. But the issue is their corporations are going woke, and wokeism means they don't want to innovate. They
no.
are fighting
It's not.
innovation in many ways.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not so not as simple as that. You know, understand to go up the value chain, you need to have much more. What do you call it? Much more like long-term education, and they have basically thrown education in the dustbin.
yeah,
Like to run high quality chip making factories or anything else, right? You need people educated in those specific sectors. But these people don't want to
Yeah,
learn
but
those skills. Like,
that has been captured by the woke lobby, no? And this woke lobby is pushed by
how?
our corporates. I mean, American corporates.
No, how is capture a work lobby? I'm confused.
Education system in America, at least the universities, have been captured by the woke lobby in many ways. People are going
No,
for
no,
those weird humanities degrees,
no.
which
I'm
make
talking
no
about
sense at all.
no. I'm I have a different point. I'm saying, imagine I'm a company like Apple. Okay, let's assume I'm Apple, and I want to start creating high quality chips. Or okay, forget
Yeah,
about it. Let's talk if I'm what's this? What is the Taiwanese company? Man, I forgot his name. My brain is not working right now. अरे वो चिप कंपनी क्या है नाम क्या है भाई
हाँ वो अभी असम में कर रहे हैं ना कुछ ऐसा वो
semiconductor.
टाटा के साथ हाँ
Foxconn.
अरे जो भी
Same
है,
with
Foxconn.
Foxconn.
बात आगे बढ़ाइए.
I'm Foxconn. I want to set up a high quality like high range chip manufacturing in US. Forget about the universities. I can run my own training program. How many of these people, the common American, will be willing to go through a training program to join that company to work those things? I'm telling you, most of them will not
अरे
want to.
उनके अरे उनके स्कूल में क्या पढ़ाया जा रहा है कि अपना लिंग बदल लो और फालतू बकवास पढ़ाया जा रहा है स्कूल में.
No,
तो
even
वो
in the
कहाँ से वो
no,
चिप
I'm saying
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जाएंगे.
no. Forget about that also. Even you look at even right wing schools. I'll tell you. You
Okay,
understand?
okay.
We're
Now
looking
I
only
get
at
your point.
we're looking at the woke left. The problem is we keep ignoring the woke right. वो भी नहीं पढ़ाते ये सब.
Okay.
तो नहीं पढ़ाना है ये सब.
तो उन्होंने
What are
भी
the
साइंस
private
पढ़ाना
schools
छोड़
doing?
दिया है क्या?
Because the
STEM
wokeism
पढ़ाना
is
छोड़
mainly
दिया क्या
in
उन्होंने?
public schools. Wokeism is mainly in public schools. So what are their private schools teaching?
The private school is different. मैं तो वही बोल रहा हूँ. Private schools are those who want to reach the high quality businesses.
Yeah,
वो CEO बनना है, वो सब बनना है. I'm talking about
yeah,
the person who runs the factories, high-end factories.
yeah,
These people will not want to study. They will not want to do that work. मैं बोल रहा हूँ,
yeah,
उनको नहीं करना है ये सब.
So,
yeah.
बस complain करना है.
is there a problem? So, is there a problem with their upbringing in this case?
Yes,
That
yes.
they are
I think
growing
you
up with
understand.
single parents and all of that?
Of
नहीं नहीं
course, of
नहीं
course.
नहीं नहीं उनका
Of course,
culture
that
में
has to
what
factor
do they
in.
value? You understand? Okay, उनका pop culture में what do they value? Work with your hand. Be a carpenter. Be a house building guy. Be a what you call it? कुछ basically what वो Marlboro man image है ना?
Yeah,
So what will a Marlboro man do in a freaking high tech factory?
right.
And I think there is an attempt to stereotype people who are good in studies and academics as nerds
Yeah, that's
and
what
all.
Vivek tried to
That
talk
these
about.
are
Yeah,
nerdy people who don't know anything else in life, who can only
yeah,
study or bookish and all of that.
That's
That is
exactly what
also a
Vivek.
problem.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Vivek tried to talk about that, and they didn't get the point. They didn't get the point
yeah,
at all. They all lost their shit because he was pointing out a fundamental fraud fundamental flaw of their system, and they didn't want to listen.
yeah,
They're like, "Oh my god, why?" I look at it because of attitude also. Oh my God! It was Saved by the Bell. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and the issue is that it's the problem with their culture, not with the system. The cultural problem is the biggest issue here. It is difficult to change a culture. It's
Achha,
easier to change a system.
Yes, exactly.
okay. One question to Ananda and Abhay for that. In that case, ये culture तो इंडिया में भी है. Like nerds and all, by and large, them ridiculed to a great extent in India as well. So then, why has a follow-on not happened in India?
Because
Because
we
the
have Indian
population is
parents.
so high that our nerd numbers are beating American nerd numbers.
No.
For that.
We have Indian,
No,
Indian
no.
parents.
In
एक मिनट, I have an
India,
answer. अरे I have an
okay.
answer.
First, Anand can go.
We have Indian parents. जूता मारेंगे हमें अगर काम नहीं कर पढ़ाई नहीं कर जूता मारेंगे. उनके पेरेंट्स जूता नहीं मारते.
अरे हमारे पेरेंट्स का बहुत
Also,
प्रेशर होता है. और आप ये भी सुनिए, वो शर्मा जी का लड़का ने ये किया, शर्मा जी का लड़का ने वो किया, उसका समाज में सम्मान होता है. वो सब अमेरिका में नहीं होता है उतना.
Moreover, I think
okay, thank you guys. I'll drop off. Good night.
Good night, Rishabh.
Good night.
Go ahead, Pritish.
Moreover, I think one of the reasons ये होता है इसलिए कि जो हमारे जो कल्चर है उसमें हम लोग को ये नहीं सिखाते कि मतलब जो नर्ड्स जो है वो नेगेटिव वे में उनको नहीं दिखाया जाता. लाइक दे आर सॉर्ट ऑफ रिडिक्यूल्ड एंड स्टफ बट इन अ पॉजिटिव वे कि अरे वो तो ऐसा है. लाइक there is a positive annotation to it. That's why
Yeah. Exactly. That is the point. In Asian culture, nerds are celebrated in many ways. Sometimes celebrated too much.
Yeah, so that is also there. Although I have a more fundamental question regarding this free trade and this stuff, which is that whenever you see the economic growth of any country, let's say Europe or United States, they start exporting their manufacturing hubs, right? Because their manufacturing starts becoming expensive. So what would be the way forward for India once it becomes a very first world country? How would India go about? And ये कब तक चलेगा कि आउटसोर्स करेंगे? एक टाइम तो आएगा ना वर्ल्ड में, मे बी आफ्टर लेट्स से 200 years, जब ज्यादातर कंट्रीज ही फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड हो जाएंगे, तब क्या होगा? सो और ये होता ही क्यों है? ये it is one of the questions I was pondering. So I don't know what should be the answer to it.
Apart from this, I guess as Abhijit Mitra was pointed out, once we become a $20,000, $25,000 economy, per capita income economy, I think the woke virus that we're talking about now will also creep into India. Because then we're going to have disposable income.
Will creep into India.
Free space for that.
Will creep into India. It has already crept into India in our system.
It will corrupt. Not to the extent that has happened in US or Europe. That's what I'm talking about. It is going to be far worse than what it is today.
India at some point of time was kind of woke. Like if you take ancient India, like
अरे 70 साल से woke है हमारा देश. क्या बात कर रहे हो? हमारे लॉस पढ़ लो. woke नहीं है तो क्या है? रिजर्वेशन क्या है?
Exactly.
Women centric laws क्या है? SC/ST एक्ट क्या है? सब woke है.
नहीं, not that मैं ancient India की बात कर
रहा हूँ. ancient India में भी wokeism था. buddhism तो wokeism ही है.
हाँ, वीगनिज्म का जो कॉन्सेप्ट आया वो सब तो धीरे-धीरे वोकिज्म से ही आया है ना.
अरे जाके
veganism नहीं, vegetarianism.
अरे forget about veganism. जाके पढ़ो कामसूत्रा. Kamasura is one of the most woke books ever. Like
why?
अरे it tells you to like sleep, not marry and have a relationship outside of marriage and it's okay. And so Kamasura is very woke. Very, very woke. It's like very free-spirited sexual awakening kind of thing. So we forget that those days it was actually very woke.
That's like
the Puranic Hindus removed the woke and then we came back to woke. It's a wave, man. People do this all the time. It keep happening.
Leftist को माल दे दिया यहाँ पे आनंद ने.
Once you are going to become economically stable, wokeism will creep into your system. It's inevitable in that way. Apart from that, my point was that regarding that, my question is that we talked about the nerds and the jocks of US culture. What makes you think that the nerds actually are ridiculed in USA? I mean, what is the core reason for that? Is it because of the culture and films regarding that jocks are considered hunky, sexy, and stuff like
See,
that? Because of that.
every society, see, varnas are in the end universal and sanatan, right? So in the end, every country is governed by one specific varna. So India is kind of a Brahmin Kendrik Varna. Whatever our IS Babus say, academics say, we always follow that blindly. Whatever our doctors say, no matter how much commission they are getting from pharmaceutical companies, we trust these people blindly. Islamic societies are run by Kshatriyas, and USA is run by Vaishyas. Their morality therefore comes from just Vaishyas and not bookish people, etc. Therefore, the hatred for nerds.
I
So
have a
you will say
different.
Brahmins are considered nerdy. Brahminical things are
Hmm.
considered to be weak and,
Yeah,
you know,
No,
passive and stuff like that.
I have a different theory.
yeah,
My
yeah.
theory
Go
is
ahead.
you have to look at how a society is built, how it is set up, what kind of people, what kind of human beings set up that society, right? The Americans were set up by like people colonists, people who traveled from long distance, took a risk, right? Risk taker, basically. They took a risk going to a new land. They took a risk challenging the local natives. They took a risk killing them. A lot of things. Basically, took a lot of risks. They went into the
Of course. None
outback
of
and
that is done by bookish nerds.
exactly. No, but in India, it's different. We are settlement people. We are naturally settlement people.
Yeah,
We set up a place
yeah.
along banks and along a road we set up and we set up our institutions permanently there. So people who do things in settlements are more prone to studying and building on knowledge systems and stuff. That's why for me I don't believe in Aryan invasion theory. It makes no bloody sense. Those bloody like horse herders suddenly can write a phenomenal poetry and like no nonsense. That's clearly nonsense, right?
Hmm.
So that I'm saying basically
Yeah.
that's our characteristic. Take the Brits again. Brits, right? Initially, the first wave of Brits was very like same, very violent, very fighting type, killing people, and then they turned into a very bookish society. Then they started
Yeah.
valuing people who talked culture, who talked philosophy, who talked. So even societies change over time. That's my point.
I
Yeah.
mean, if
Yeah.
you want to see how much developed ancient India was in general, you don't need to see how, like, you don't need to even go to check the historical or archaeological evidence instead. Just see the music philosophy, musical culture, all these things also are a marker of good society and how the society has developed over time. So just हमारे music को देख लो, हमारे philosophies को देख लो, a rudimentary society cannot function or produce such good content, so to speak. Only thing
Well,
I on, only thing
yeah, please
I
go ahead. Please go ahead.
only thing I find is that maybe India was socially much more forward than what it economically was in ancient times. That's why India fell. I think economic prosperity and social prosperity must go hand in hand, whereas social prosperity went much further, which led to like very nihilistic tendencies in Indians, where that led to further problems and economic suppression. So that I think that is one of my theory that has led
I
to
disagree with
falling.
this. I think it happened with the deurbanization and the collapse of the Indian society in the late 500s. I think with that, I think our society started to collapse because in the late 500s only the basic intermarriage between the castes stopped. Ecologically, we can find this out. Genetically, we can also understand this. I think with that, after the late 500s, some sort of thing has happened. Overall, societal collapse
No,
happened,
but
I guess,
my
because of
question
it,
is why that
deurbanization happened.
happened. One of the reasons of this weird deurbanization is related to
No,
economy only,
because
na?
you
Because
are saying that we are societally very much uplifted. But if we are so uplifted, then why did we stop intermarrying between castes? That's the thing we must have to remember.
because
Because
society and economy go hand in hand. When we saw that the economy stopped functioning, but economy was not growing, and the society was starting to becoming woke. What we did was
oh,
we started
500s was the
getting
Gupta
into the
Empire period.
development
That was the golden age of India. So the economy was very much flourishing during that time.
after
It
that.
is not.
After that.
It is not that. After that, yeah, I agree. Because we stopped intermarrying, because segregation happened in the caste, that resulted in deurbanization. That's why it
No,
resulted in all these things collapsed at the
I
same
think
time.
it happened because of the economic problem. We de-urbanized and we ghettoized and we did this caste thing.
And also remember
internally
that a lot of wars
misconceptions.
happened during that time, a lot of battles between kings and stuff like. Oh yes, AIM, I know. It's AIM whom I'm quoting right now. Anyways, well, a fun trivia fact I remembered as Ananda was talking about Kama Sutra. In Kama Sutra, do you know the women's sexual positions are compared to musical notes, and men's sexual positions are compared to battle formations. It's a small usage trivia.
Nice.
No,
Nice.
so I have another theory. I have another anthropological theory about why intermarriage suddenly stops. Right. So when your resources are limited, what do you do? The first thing that you do, you hoard. Right. And resources are
Yeah.
limited, you hoard. Now, when you hoard, when someone comes and asks you for to share your resources, what is your criteria for sharing your resources? People you inherently know or inherently feel safe with, right? So now, how will you determine who people who you inherently know or feel safe with are? They tend to be your family. They tend to be your community, right? You look at everyone else as dangerous to that stability of that hoarding that you have done. So you will not let anyone else from other community
Yeah.
come into your group because you never know that person may be a traitor and take the food and give it to someone else. So this is natural. The problem with modern discussions about social structure is no one understands that fundamentally we are animals. We keep thinking we have become this divine being that is not an animal, right? That is beyond the pulls and pushes of what an animal requires. That's my problem. My problem is that. So
Ananda, but there's this
Yeah.
saying, Aham Brahma, isn't there?
But
It's
that's
just
not
another
true, right?
example of how
Hmm.
Indian society used to be so woke.
I think we should not compare that to the Upanishadic Mahavakyas because they are truly
or
profound.
or
Yeah, I
Vasudeva
think they are truly
Kutumbakam
philosophical.
or
Yeah,
Vasudeva
But
because
Kutumbakam.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
there is
But
think
also
both
just to
are.
expand on Ananda's point, what happened was, see, like it's not rocket science what really happened. Why that again, like caste is two things, like Jati and Varna. And what happened was the calcification not of the Varna initially, but of the Jati first. What happened was in the Gupta Empire, 450 BC was around the 400 to 50 to 500 BC was the end period of the Gupta Empire. It was also the Indian Golden Age. Around the end of that, North India
for 50
especially
BC was not Gupta
fragmented.
Empire. For 50 BC was not
Sorry,
Gupta Empire. It was the Nanda Empire.
AD. I'm
Yes,
talking about
80.
AD. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is when the Gupta Empire started to fragment, and that is where all the Rajputs also come from. Basically, like the fragmenting of the Gupta Empire into smaller states. What happened then was with the decline of centralization, right? Uh, the same thing that Ananda was saying actually happened. And people basically started marrying within their own localities. So, and that is how you get the situation where, entire villages are comprised of just one jati. And that is what happened. Deurbanization happened, and India has had like 12 waves of urbanization and deurbanization. We're in the 12th wave of urbanization in Indian history. So this is not something that has happened just once. For whatever reason, after the Gupta period, it just became entrenched. But this is something that really, for whatever reason, just really stuck. But this is a cycle that has happened throughout Indian history. And once decentralization happens, it's not just resources, it's also security. अगर अपनी बेटी ब्याह रहे हो तुम, you have to make sure
Yeah.
that she is going to be safe, and also you have to make sure that you know in a state which is kind of lawless, because there is a complete breakdown of central authority. You also have to make sure that not just you're making political alliances, but if someone tries to pick up your daughter, then there's not just one powerful family, there are two powerful families that are going to go after that guy. थोड़ा bleak है, but that is actually what happened. This created a lot
Hmm.
of things, especially in from the 800s, 900s, starting in Western India, which is why Western India also has a lot of anti perceived anti women things. because with the arrival of the Islamist conquests in India, things like parda also became much more prevalent in this country because of the very fact that you
In
had to start
Gujarat,
protecting your family and becoming very, draconian to protect your family. Like we cannot impose our modernist points of view on someone who's living in a village somewhere in Gujarat or Rajasthan or Punjab 1,200 years ago.
I get you, but
So
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
there I would
complete
like to
Western
digress
India.
a bit because what you were saying that the waves of urbanization happened, I admit to that. But the point is that before the 12th deurbanization phase, India did not retain any kind of backwardness. The backwardness
yeah,
that stayed with the deurbanization, it stayed with us.
yes, totally agree with that. Like I said, for whatever reason, this happened with the Gupta Empire's fall in northern India, and it started in northern India. Uh, mm, I don't know why it happened, but that is when it happened. Usse pehle, it was all fluid. Whatever happened. There was some, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that there was a massive contest that
Power
was
vacuum.
happening between Hinduism and Buddhism as well at that time. Like
I
people
don't
don't
think
like to
so.
talk about it so much. Uh-huh.
Because Shankaracharya nearly nullified that. Shankaracharya and his movement of the monks and the Dashanami Sampradaya took care of that. I don't think that is the reason. I think the power vacuum left by the Gupta Empire and the economic downwardness, I think that caused it. It is my opinion.
Yeah, it could have
And
been. Could have been. It might just
apart
have been economic backwardness. Yeah.
yes, apart
Okay.
from that, the point you mentioned
Yeah, go on.
about the parda, one small point about
Shankaracharya,
the parda. When we talk
Yeah.
about the woman's dressing in our country, have you ever seen any depiction of any woman's dressing in any of our ancient monuments where a woman is using parda or khomta, as we say in Bengali?
Never.
You cannot see
Never.
that. Khomta is
No,
basically
we
an
did
Islamic
not.
concept that we have inherited
Absolutely,
our
it's a
second.
very very hot country. Our views of the woman's body was not this sexualized ever in history, because
Never.
in
Yes,
Valmiki's Ramayan, the Jayanta the crow sits on Masita's breasts, and then in Tulsidas's Ramayan it's said that it sits on Masita's feet, because by then breasts, the concept of breasts have been so sexualized because of Islamic invasions. Every woman's
and
body is
also
a field that you must plow.
from Ramayana, also in the anime movie of Ramayana, The Legend of Prince Ram, Sita is shown wearing a ghomta. It is extremely
Mm.
backward.
Yeah,
Now I get it, and I don't
yeah.
Yeah.
like it at all. That's the point.
But
Yeah.
but
And
that but
Absolutely.
sorry.
and the issue the thing about sexualization of women. So in India, women used to wear short clothes, but they were not sexualized at all. It was because of the hot
Yeah,
country
exactly.
that India was.
Exactly.
But in
Yes.
West, when you see this Western propaganda coming in through whatever feminism and all, their intention to shorten the women's clothes is not because it's a hot country or because it's climate. It's about
Yeah.
living their sexuality. So
Yes.
they are
Yeah, because
sexualizing women.
right now our brains are wired like that. Right now we are going to automatically
So
sexualize any woman we see in those clothes. Now the cat is out of the bag. We can't
no, no,
go
no.
back to that.
What I am saying is when feminists say that women should be allowed to wear short clothes, they are not
Yeah.
saying with the intent that it should be
Yeah, of course.
normalized and it should not be sexualized. In fact, they want women to show off their sexuality. That
Yeah.
is the difference. In ancient India, it was not because of sexualization or for women to want to show their sexuality or something like that. It's not like they won't
Yeah.
show at all, but that was not the main intention.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there was this
Um
Keralite,
yeah, go on.
there was this Keralite book on, I think, prostitution, where they showed that hiding your breast and these things are a act of seducing. So if you hide your
Hmm.
breast, you're seducing someone. So these things were
Hmm.
opposite in India.
Yeah.
Just want to highlight, most ancient societies did not look at the male body or the female body as sexual objects explicitly, right? The
That's a
Yeah.
the
very
sex,
Abrahamic thing.
yes, exactly. The sexualization of the body was is done only in certain situations, like when
Hmm.
it is paired with certain external stimuli like music, environment,
Haldi ka doodh.
food, exactly. So that the problem what happened was initially it was like normally if you have some amount of nakedness, it is not sexual. You don't feel sexual. But when you go into a situation where you create the environment for the sexual act, then it becomes sexual. That's why.
And I have
Absolutely
I,
right,
I'll
Anand.
just
You
I'll
see,
just add one thing
even
about the ghungat issue. Well, if the ghungat is covering up your entire face, that might be a replication of burqas and stuff. But after all, the ghungat,
Yep.
if it's just up until here, then it's a symbol of a royal woman as well, because even Greeks had ghungat, even in BC. Even you see Troy and stuff, it's all based on paintings and sculptures, right? Even she is wearing a ghungat. What's her name? uh who
Helen.
played the lead actress in even Helen, yes, but the one who plays Superman's mother, all of them are wearing ghungat.
Mhm. Yeah,
so what
that's
I
the
was
thing
saying.
though. There's a difference between ghungat and a proper parda. Parda is where you cover your entire face.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
A
it could
ghungat
have
is just
been
for the
like a
head.
scarf.
you can
I
see.
think
Yeah,
it
a
could have been
ghungat
like
would
a scarf or
be more like
something.
a star. Yes.
yeah.
I would
Okay,
say
now we'll
See,
go
the
same.
off the
I was
problem
rails.
here
saying
is,
There's
something.
okay, okay. You wanted to
I
listen to the
just
last
wanted to
point.
put a point across.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
thing, if you read some of the treatise or some of the things on how women were supposed to seduce men, okay, in ancient India, especially the
Yeah.
women who were escort workers and all, it was not just by showing their body. They needed to have knowledge of philosophy, knowledge of music, some amount of Natya Shastra.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Those our level of seduction was also high. Just
yeah,
showing off your body won't do. Today, the level of sexuality has gone low. The level of stimulus has gone really low, where
yeah.
just showing off your body will do the job.
Right.
I think the change in the mindset of the people could be understood by this Shankaracharya's, the commentary. So in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is this phase where the people say that if you want to have a scholarly male child, have rice with sesame seeds, and if you want a scholarly female child, have another some mix of rice. So what Shankaracharya does is it's clearly written that if you want a scholarly male or a scholarly female. Now, when it
Yeah,
comes to Shankaracharya, he changes that scholarly female in this context doesn't mean scholar. It means a home worker who is doing home chores. So home chores is a scholarly stuff for women. So he interprets it this in a way. He interprets this in this way. So we can see the difference here also, like he uses
right,
hermeneutics and stuff to you know
right,
jump over it.
right. Okay, then. Thanks for joining, guys. We are ending the live stream now. Not much is going on in the Warfront as well. We will
Thank
see
you.
what happens tomorrow, and if required, we'll do live streams then also. Uh, okay. Thanks for joining, guys. No outro music
Thank you,
from now.
guys.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Good
you so
night.
much, Dada.
Thanks, guys.
And
Bye bye.
and
Good
just to
night.
remind you,
Yeah.
do that live stream on Shivaji Utsav tomorrow, if
Oh,
possible.
yes, yes, yes. Yes, I'll have to do that. Please remind me once on Instagram as well. I'm going to forget as soon as I go to sleep. Tomorrow I'll have to do that. Yeah. Thanks, Abhay.
Okay,
Thanks,
okay.
guys. Thank you,
Good
Anand,
night.
Bye,
Pritish,
Sure.
Mushin.
Thank you,
everyone.
Dada.
Good night, guys. Yeah,
Good night
good
and Jai
night.
Hind.
Jai Shri Ram.